to the Breachers VRML Season 1. We are in to the near finals here, and I am joined by one of the teams who has qualified and advanced through to the semifinals this weekend. They are the Blaze EU squad. We'll go down the line, get everyone's introductions, and we'll start with you, Legolo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good.
Hyper?
Yes, I'm also doing very fine. I'm hyped. I'm actually in a room with VRCOVER right now, so we can also switch out the questions if you have any for both of us.
Excellent. Rise?
Yeah, I'm Rise. Super hyped to be in the semis this weekend, and I can't wait.
Awesome. Tabs?
Hi. I don't have much to say.
Happy here, Zyda.
And VRCOVER.
Hello. It's really nice to see all my friends here, friends and teammates, and yeah, they're gonna do a great job at the semis. About that later.
Yeah, awesome. We have a couple of questions that I do want to ask you all this afternoon about how you're feeling about the matchups that you had earlier this weekend. There's a lot of hype around those matchups, some incredible back and forth. So, you know, going into the last weekend against Cheeky Breachy, how are you feeling as a squad heading into that matchup? And Legolo, I'll start with you.
I mean, of course, we're pretty confident about being able to win, but I mean, it's still gonna be a bit of a tough match nonetheless.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think when we looked at the matchup history, we were expecting things to be a little bit more one-sided, but it ended up being a pretty fun matchup to tune into overall. And, you know, Rise, how are you feeling before you jumped into that matchup?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. I was hoping we'd come out on top, and we did, luckily. But like Hyper said, we went down like 4-0 in those first 4 rounds, and that didn't help. And you know, I'm not scared to admit I'm nervous for this upcoming match as well. I mean, the semi-finals is huge for the 13 weeks we've been playing, so
yeah.
Gonna be nervous, but hopefully those nerves settle down after a few rounds.
And so, Zyda, we talked a little bit about that first 4 rounds, not necessarily going your guys' way. Was that the most challenging part of the series? You know, how did you get out of that sort of rough start?
I would, we could act tough and say that the first 4 rounds were unlucky or something. But to be completely honest, underdogs are just a great team and they have great strategies. It is something definitely that we can learn from, especially on ship. So really props to them. They're a great team with great players. And we noticed a pattern after those 4 rounds, the mistakes we were doing, and immediately eliminated them. And after that, one round we won, and we were in the flow state, as Hyper said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's practically it. We got the attack strats ready, counter strats, and it worked out perfectly.
Tabs, when you got that first round win, was that when you felt like you had the entire thing secured, or you know at what point did you really feel like you were headed towards the series win?
I mean, the first round that we won was kind of off, just barely a piece of string. I mean, I was 1 HP. The whole team was 1 HP. It was a 3v1. They had full health. But I kind of, as one of the casters said, the door blocker really saved the day.
Yeah.
But as we kind of went in, we were just... It's pretty much, I think, when we got onto attack, we started to get our flow way better. Because, we're not really good on ship. It's kind of no secret. And I think we were a lot better at attacking, so then we just really managed to get our flow when the attack started. We were just sweeping rounds very quickly.
Awesome. And I mean, we talked about maybe, you know, practicing, getting ready for this weekend because you do have a pretty tough semifinals and finals ahead of you. You are going to be going, if we do have, maybe we'll pull up the bracket here as a graphic, kind of show it off. Okay, so then you have Cheeky Breachy coming up here because French Resistance obviously getting eliminated in round 1. You know, I want to kind of get your feelings on anything maybe you need to improve on going into this weekend, you know, especially off of that early near map 1 loss, you know, and, you know, what is your sort of impressions of what you're going to improve on, Legolo, going in and leading up to the semis?
Well, we're definitely going to be trying to scrim teams that have more unconventional strategies, because that's what Cheeky Breachy do. They have not really weird, but just not normal strategies. So it's good to play against more teams that do that as well.
Hyper, are you doing any analysis on the side? Are you helping your team prepare for this in any way if you're not going to be jumping into the games with them?
Yes, I'm definitely preparing a lot for my team. I'm just the best player at all. I'm preparing via Zyda. I'm looking after him in the Alps where we go skiing soon. So then if he's going to be at one piece. But now, all jokes aside, I think what we should improve on is just our general game sense. And if we just know what to expect, we should have this in the bag.
Yeah,
Easy peasy.
I mean, Zyda, you are definitely not out of the woods by any means, even if you win the semifinals, right? So what is your biggest competition, after the quarterfinals? Who are you looking at? Who do you see, I guess, winning out of that Velocity.com battle that's going to be happening also on Saturday?
About the .com and Velocity match, it's really hard to tell because Velocity just have been nerfed by 2 players. I don't think I need to bring it up. Everybody knows about them. But I think .com might just win this. These 2 crucial players with controversial background might just cost them the finals. And about our matchup with Cheeky Breachy, all we need to do is practice with our new roster, since me and Hyper are going to Austria for the semifinals. We're gonna be back hopefully for the grand finals and not the 3rd place match.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, speaking of the grand finals, Rise, what are your thoughts? .com, Velocity, Esports, both of those teams going to be pretty solid going up against in the finals.
Yeah, no, definitely. Both of which very good teams. I think we can all agree on that. But whoever we get, our main goal this season obviously is to win it. We've tried so hard throughout every week this season, and I think I speak on behalf of the team here. I think that the team deserves to take it all the way and hopefully take home that 1st place. It would be great.
Awesome. Well, I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to chat with me during this busy week as you do prepare for these semifinals this upcoming weekend. Congratulations on advancing through and getting your skin in the top 8, all of that. It's a big achievement, and we really are stoked for the semifinals this weekend to watch you guys play. So good luck against Cheeky Breachy. Hopefully you won't need it, but we'll have to see. That's to be determined. You're not going to want to miss that action. Maybe you're tuning in right now.
Welcome back to the Breachers VRML, everybody. I'm your host, Gibular Bob, and today we're with Cheeky Breachy, currently in the EU semi-finals. We've got GDS Hero, Rez, and Black Hat VR. How you guys doing today?
Good, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're living, laughing, loving. We're excited to be here. Yeah, a little awkward, but yeah, we're excited.
All right, so just a couple of questions for you here. First off, we're just coming out of the quarterfinals. So how did you feel heading into your matchup against French Resistance last weekend?
Yeah, it's fine. We expected to win. We lost to them in the league, I think, but every other time we've played them, it's been a win for us. So we were pretty confident.
Okay, cool, nice.
Yeah, there's a couple tight ones in there, but yeah, I think walking in there, we had a good lineup. Everyone was there, excited to go. We got some practice on the maps we wanted. Also, we had the advantage, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I expected to win because when we played them in league, we didn't really have our main roster that we train with all the time. But when we played them this time, we did. Awesome,
cool. So the next question, I know you said you had a couple of close ones there, but did you have a point where it felt, what was the most challenging part of the series there?
I mean, it was pretty challenging getting aced on Factory by one guy. That was lots of fun just to lose a 5v1.
Yeah, I was on the sidelines on that one. I was watching. I was screaming at the monitor. It was not good. Everyone ran in there one by one, but yeah, they clutched it up in the end. They had other good matches in their rounds in there.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Rez, anything to add?
It was on Skyscraper, and I feel like it's definitely their best map. So, and we didn't really train it too.
Tell them.
That'll be good.
Stats leaked. Cut it from the footage.
Okay, so the next question here: was there a point in the match where you felt like you had the win secured?
It was definitely after getting aced on Skyscraper. Like
you're full of confidence.
Yeah. From that point on, it's like, well, this is rock bottom. It can only go up.
When actually I'll give a different one on Hideout. There was one point where they were kind of behind on the offense, but they popped open the wall. It was the middle floor for A. They got in there. They planted. Rez dropped in. He shot them all out. And they changed up their strategy, and they kind of showed that they could adapt to the situation. I thought that was pretty good.
Awesome. And Rez?
I definitely felt like we were definitely going to win on Factory towards like the middle of the game.
Awesome. All right, so next question here. Is there anything you feel you need to improve upon heading into this weekend?
No, it's going to be very easy. I've never heard of this other team.
Player availability. Player availability is what we need to work on.
I mean, yeah, people actually turning up and playing games would be nice.
That, and then just kind of like adapting to some of the moments.
Right.
I feel like we take a round or two to get in there and get like, ready to handle what's being thrown at us, figure out what the enemy's doing. There's so many teams in the leagues, you can't remember a strat book for every single team.
Right.
As well as practice for it.
Sure. Okay, on that note, what other plans do you have to get into the semis or the finals? Are you scrimming anybody, or are you just going to kind of take it easy or figure out the scheduling for everybody? How's that going to work?
We've just been pretty heavily playing Fortnite. It's
no build specifically, just keep it similar as the game. But yeah, we've been scrimming. We've been trying to get ready for it. They're excited. They're hyped. They just trying to figure out what the strats are that work, what don't. Make sure everyone's on in line with the plan.
Yeah. I hope. I've just been getting bullied all the time, so I hope that helps our gameplay.
It'll increase the mental game there.
Exactly. We got to keep him down so he can rise up above.
There you go. Nice. Okay. And next up, after the quarterfinals, who do you feel is your biggest competition right now?
Who's in?
So
Velocity.com.
Velocity.com and BlazeEU.
Like any of them, like they're all good teams. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think it matters. Like we don't really play this game, so like we're just kind of winging it. It's like we're just relying on past VR experience right now. It's like every other team in the league is doing good at the minute. So yeah, every single game is gonna be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. It's like all teams are good. I don't think there's one that stands out right now. I mean, like Velo's on top, but it can still happen. It can change, and so I think all the teams have a chance here.
Definitely. Rez, how about you?
I definitely think Blaze are the biggest competition right now because they're all like higher levels in the game. They've played more, and our average level is like bronze 40.
Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at the scoreboard, please.
Quick look over here.
No!
Ooh. Okay. Well, I'm sure it's fine.
Fortnite no build does carry over. Fortnite no build carries over. I swear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Among Us doesn't. I learned that the hard way.
Oh, I see. Well, it might deduce you, if you get a team kill, who team killed you.
Yeah.
That's
okay. That's fine. That's cool.
That's going to do it for all of our questions today. Of course, we do thank GDS Hero, Rez, and Black Cat VR, the rest of Cheeky Breachy, for agreeing to the interview and joining me here this afternoon today. And of course, we do wish you all good luck in the upcoming semis. But for now, that's going to do it for us at the VRML. I'm Gibular Bob. This has been Cheeky Breachy, and we'll catch you all in the next interview. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.
Finto again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. From the hallway and now from the open door. It just opened up.
25 points, 1 versus 1. Last round, Evil Jester putting some pressure in that doorway, still unable to pick up the EMP, and the ace is gonna go down.
Getting down to 15 seconds. Ash has recovered that EMP, looking to push in. Solo swings out, finds 2. And
Welcome, everybody, to the Breachers VRML Season 1 EU Top 4 Semifinals. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's. We are here with the pre-show casting desk, Philibus and Finto. Philibus, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. The hype's at an all-time high. Just got to cast an amazing semifinal match earlier. Yeah, good day.
Finto, how are you doing? We're looking forward to an excellent EU battle today.
I'm feeling great. 2 skilled teams. This is going to be an exciting game.
Yes, it certainly is. And for those just tuning in, you're catching essentially a 13-week-long regular season culminating to this last weekend, the final weekend of Season 1. And these teams have been fighting so hard and so long to get to this point. You look at the squads that have been fighting already today and over the course of last weekend, the Challenger Cup. Again, it has been 13 weeks of regular season gameplay. None of these teams that qualified here qualified through the Challenger Cup, so all of them advanced in through the top 7 of that regular season. They then played last weekend, beating their closest opponent in seeding, and now going here into the semifinals, we have 2 stellar matches that we were going to be catching this today. One already got broadcast earlier this afternoon, and I want to talk a little bit about Velocity Esports and .com because maybe it sets our expectations for Blazy Hugh, Cheeky Breachy here. VelocityEsports.com, Phil, did not go the way that I think most people assumed that matchup was going to go.
No, I mean, yeah, that was the biggest seeding split we had left. The number 1 seeded team, rank 1 from the season versus the 6th ranked team, and yeah, .com got up to an amazing start and never let off the gas pedal, and Velocity looked like they couldn't quite get it. They almost pulled the second map, and maybe if they could have won the second map and brought it to a third map decider, they could have come fully into form, but they didn't get the chance. It was a quick 2-0. It slipped right away from them. So
Finto, you're the EU local resident connoisseur here. There's no way that delivered to your expectations, right? I mean, going in, we kind of assumed Velocity was going to be the number 1 team to be playing in the finals tomorrow.
I mean, I'm shocked. Velocity has only ever lost 1 other match this season. For the whole time they've been a team, they have been known as the number 1 EU team. And to see .com, a team that's still very skilled, but obviously multiple places down, to completely upset that standing, is crazy to see. It really sets us up for what's not going to be a normal finals. Yeah.
No kidding. We are not getting that normal finals, and these teams that are playing today may be a little bit. I don't know. Do you think their mindsets changed a little bit, Finto? Because they were really kind of maybe gearing for Velocity after hoping for a win today, because they have to win here again to go through that bracket. They'll then be going up against .com now, our winners. Do you think that changes plans and scheduling and stuff that they had been practicing for?
I mean, almost definitely, it was basically a given for these teams that they would be going against Velocity, and every team in the top 8 has played Velocity. They know how they think, and they practice and train specifically to beat Velocity. It's like what every team in the EU aims for, and to now be against a completely different team who was not expected to make it this far is definitely gonna make the finals a lot more interesting than we expected.
And it leads us into our matchup this afternoon because there are 2 games to play today for EU, 2 to play today for NA. That broadcast starts later this afternoon where we'll have some giveaways live on stream if you want to get your hands on a Cloud Core headset. But today we have Blaze EU and Cheeky Breachy and Phil. I want to get your thoughts on these 2 teams. Both of them, when we interviewed Blaze EU, they said that, it's a little bit hard to prepare for Cheeky Breachy because they are kind of a elusive squad in some ways, maybe hard to read. Maybe they just kind of throw out unorthodox strats. But, what are your thoughts on the matchup that we're going to be getting into here today and how it's going to kind of shake out?
Yeah. Based off of that information, I feel like the Cheeky playstyle is kind of just like, it's at least on attack. I'm imagining that it's going to be kind of randomized, right? They do 5 random things and then they just communicate well and they turn it into some sort of organized chaos that they're in control of. So it should be exciting. This is what I said with any of these top 8 teams in the playoffs here. All of these people know how to shoot and can step up and win on any given day. So it's always exciting to see who's going to show up on playoffs day and actually win it out. So it's we should be in for a good battle.
Finto, what are your thoughts on the Cheeky Breachy style? Does it live up to the team name? Is it a Cheeky Breachy style, or do you think that the Blaze EU team's got a good chance this afternoon?
They're definitely a team that works really well together. The amount of changes they've had to the roster since they were created has been so few. As a team, they'll know each other so well and be able to play off of each other really well. So I'm expecting a lot of good teamwork-based plays here.
Yeah, and we look at the match history between these 2 teams. Cheeky Breachy won 18-13. I think, Phil, that's a good indicator that we could be getting into some back and forth here this afternoon. And if anything, we have to set the expectation for the upset, which would technically here would maybe be Blaze, although Blaze is number 2 seed versus the number 4 seed. At this stage, though, Phil, what does seeding even mean? Because we're seeing top squads not advancing on to the finals, and sure, roster changes, roster shakeups may have an impact there, but overall, do you think that Blaze is going to live up to that number 2 seed? There's pressure on the line here now too when you consider that there's that advancement onto the prize pool as well.
Yeah, I think I think it actually adds a little bit of extra spice on the cake with their last meeting going the way of Cheeky Breachers because they they've probably had their eyes set on getting their revenge for a while now. So I imagine them being here on playoffs day and able to steal that back. It's a big statement, and Blaze is going to bring that extra little something that we otherwise wouldn't see. So yeah, I think it's a good little grudge match.
It is the postseason. It is a bit of a grudge match, and we are about ready to get in. Well, to start to get ready for the game. It's about 15 minutes away before we jump in to round number 1. Well, probably 20 realistically. We'll have 5 minutes before the lobby starts, but about 20 minutes from now until that round 1 starts. And so I want to get our predictions on who we see advancing on to go up against .com, not Velocity Esports, and I'll get your predictions on 3rd place and finals tomorrow. Because again, for those that don't know, today is just the top 4, just the semifinals. Tomorrow we have 3rd place, so the losers of today play in 3rd place match, and the winners of today play for 1st and 2nd place. 1 game only. You don't have multiple games to sort of. There's not a bracket reset as some people may be familiar with. So there's not a chance where we're getting 2 games, 2 finals series. It's the winner is the winner in the finals tomorrow. And so there's a lot of hype this weekend around these games, and we really cannot wait to get in to the first, the second one, of today. The first one for me of today. Gibular Bod did a great job hosting that first matchup earlier this morning. But Phil, I'll start with you. Who do you see coming out on top here this afternoon and advancing through to the finals to go up against .com?
Let's see. Their last meeting went the way of Cheeky Breachy. I'm going to say Blaze EU is going to get their revenge today and advance on to the finals tomorrow.
Okay, Finto, what do you see as the outcome of our matchup coming up here this afternoon?
I think we're going to see some great plays from Cheeky Breachy today. That's who I'm expecting to win, but I think it's going to be very close.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to have to go with the Blaze EU squad. It's a brand that I'm familiar with as well, just across VRML, and I got to wonder if it's the same Blaze theming across these other teams. But anyway, it's definitely a lot to look forward to this afternoon. Blaze EU versus Cheeky Breachy. And again, that's coming up in about 15, 20 minutes from now. We are going to go to a brief break and start to prepare for these matchups. Before we do, though, a quick shout out to our sponsors while we're here on the pre-show enjoying the action. Phil, go get your Protube out, tucked in around the corner there. I've got mine here. These Protube, one of our main sponsors for the VRML, helps with fantastic stock options that help stabilize your aim in game with magnetic cups, force feedback options. It's helps stabilize your aim in any shooter, so I do recommend you check that out if you do have the opportunity. They are Protube VR, and you can get a discount right now, 10% off of any purchase by using code ILOVEVRML at checkout. So please do go represent the VRML, show some love to the Protube sponsors. We're also sponsored by HyperX, so you're hearing my voice coming in on the Procast XLR mic, their newest mic that they've come out with. It's a fantastic, high quality works great so far, Mike. I really enjoyed, and a big hats off to the HyperX team for supporting us and the production team. Next season, you may be seeing Gibular Bob showing off some of the new HyperX gears. So we're happy that Gib has been putting in a lot of time, and we're happy that we can reward some of our casters with these broadcast kits. So a shout out to Gib and a shout out to HyperX for supporting us and our North American champions. Unfortunately, not able to sponsor EU, and when that time comes available for them too, we will of course be enhancing that EU prize pool. We're also sponsored by Helga, the esports bot manager, a fantastic bot that helps manage and organize all of your matches across really all of the VRML leagues. It's a bot that's made by VRML players for VRML players, and I do recommend you check it out. You'll get your first month free if you join the Discord, and our winners, first place and second place of each region, are getting lifetime subscriptions to that service. So a big shout out to the Helga esports, Helga bot management team. We really appreciate them and their support. We're also sponsored by VRCOVER. They offer fantastic hygiene comfort options for any of your VR devices, face masks, different padded cushion options, covers for your existing cushions. I highly recommend you check them out. Greatly enhance the comfort. And last but not least, Phil, Triangle Factory coming in and supporting the VRML with those gun skins. I don't know if you've got your VRML gun skin, but the finalist skins, I don't think they're going to be on show today. But unfortunately, I don't think we'll get them to the teams this weekend to be shown on stream. But you will be seeing that VRML Season 1 finalist gun skin circulating around with the few exclusive teams that qualified for it in the top 8 this season. And we really appreciate Triangle Factory for also supporting into that cash prize pool this season. Big hats off to them. And again, already starting to think about Season 2 in my mind, but we can't right now. We got to focus on what's happening in front of us. We have to finish Season 1. It's today and tomorrow. The big games are coming up, and again, just 10 minutes away, we'll be diving in to our first matchup of the day, our only EU matchup of the day, Blaze EU versus Cheeky Breachy. More NA games almost immediately after this one, so you're not going to want to miss all of the Breachers action that's left for you today. But until then, we're going to take a brief break, so don't go anywhere.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Welcome, everybody, to the Breachers VRML Season 1 EU semifinals. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. Filibust is shaking the energy into their skin over there on Cam 2. And Finto joining me all on the desk this afternoon for Blaze EU versus Cheeky Breachy, 2 top squads in the EU. Finto, talk to me about these teams for anybody that maybe missed that pre-show and doesn't know what they're jumping into here this afternoon.
I mean, 2 very skilled teams, Blaze EU and Cheeky Breachy, both been around for a while with a lot of experience in the game. Pretty similar match histories, honestly, with Blaze having a 7-5 win to loss, and Cheeky Breachy being 6-5. Although it is true that last time these 2 teams played against each other, Cheeky Breachy did take that victory 18-13, so we could be seeing a pretty close game today here that could go either way.
We could indeed, Phil. We're just moments away from getting into map number 1 this afternoon. Quickly, your thoughts on the matchup here today, because round 1 is just around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, if the earlier EU match from today is anything to take note from, we could be. I mean, these 2 teams are seated pretty close, anyways, and there was a big upset there. So it's literally a coin toss as to who's going to come out on top, who's shown up ready to win this day. You know, who knows? We're going to find out.
We are just moments away from diving in to round number 1. It looks like we are headed to Factory. It is here, Phil. It feels like it's taken forever to get to this weekend, to get to the semis, to get to the finals. Finto, happy to have you on the analyst desk with us this afternoon. Before we say goodbye to you and get ready to get into the action, your thoughts on the pistol set this afternoon on the basement floor?
I mean, it's looking pretty like they've got pretty similar weapons here. Mostly just spectrals with those the 2-tap to the head kill is just really the best way you can go for right now, except for Beamer opting to buy a bit more util there with the Jesper.
We talked a little bit about it, Phil, offline, but your thoughts on the strategy on economy here on the pistol phase?
Yes. Cheeky Breachy, I am very much approve. They got the double stim set up. Have 1 person save Jesper and buy 2 stims. It's so much value from the team, and there's so many spectrals for him to pick up off the ground anyway. Play that support role. Shout outs to BMO for having the wherewithal to elevate the meta.
Shout outs to BMO, indeed. And into the action we go. Round number 1 unfolding on the basement floor here on B as Blaze EU gets ready to set up for the breach already. The foam going down. Everyone stacked up inside here. Vulnerable to any utility nades. Things like that is a nice nade toss there. All the way down in. What a beautiful bounce. There's nothing but practice and precision behind that nade toss. As another one comes flying in through the doorway there. Pushes the team back just a second as they trade and exchange fire back and forth. Clearing some guesswork there, shooting through the wall, guessing if anyone was tucked into the corner. Everyone tucked into the backside of B, though, and doing a great work shutting down Blaze entering in.
Yeah, the 5-man pile into storage. It was a quick round, and off the back of that nice nade, I just want to point out how crucial that stim came in. I mean, Rez was who was it? Vreezer there was down to like 3 points of health. Actually, it was Jado. They ended up dying anyway, but these stims already coming in huge. 3v4, and these people have been able to heal almost all the way back up. So it's going to be tough. Blaze trying to find a hole in the armor here, but the defensive setup right now from Cheeky Breachy is holding strong.
Yes, it is indeed. Legolo interviewed in the most recent chat with Blaze EU. Always good to get a face to the name. You know, gives a little bit more personality behind these players that are in VR, battling it out against one another. And we'll follow Legolo as they work their way into A site alongside Rise, trying to guess again, putting bullets through the wall, seeing if they connect on any opponents. And a beautiful headshot there. Rise catching BMO down the long hallway. It's still being guarded by O.O, but B site's also being pressured a little bit on the other side there by Stickosaurus. It's a nice split coming in here onto the A and B sites. And if they can crash into B effectively, maybe they can support Legolo and Rise here, who are looking to get into A. But instead, Stickosaurus is going on a longer rotation, pitting this duo against Rez and O.O. Full health film, likely because of those syringes.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to rotate. I do agree. I like the amount of map control that Blaze EU is controlling. They have all of Electric. They're pressuring through the doorway into A. Rise just jiggle peeking with that EMP. Meanwhile, still pressuring through the holes in B. And the foam's coming in. This is going to be the attack right here. A gets completely opened up. Shots coming back through, and it's with a nice 1-2 punch to leave Rise in a 1 versus 2.
Huge double kill over the top onto the A site, shutting down the entry. It forces Rise to be alone, trying to get the EMP plant down, getting pushed on the backside by Vreezer. They hear those footsteps, but they also hear O.O, and that's just good quality teamwork right there coming in on the Cheeky Breachy side, as I got to swap the teams. Cheeky Breachy taking round number 1, Finto, and doing it with, again, some great coordination.
I mean, Blaze seeming really strong at the beginning, instantly getting all five players into storage, completely set up for the attack. I thought at that point, it's over for Cheeky Breachy now. But Cheeky Breachy holding the defense amazingly. As soon as they got those first 2 players down, Blaze's momentum was completely gone, and they didn't keep trying for that. They really just jumped about it and played for picks, which didn't end up working for them. They ran down the clock and got left, picked off in individual fights. So, you know, we can really see that Blaze relies on that momentum to keep going with the pushes. And Cheeky Breachy just playing really closely and carefully, not getting over-aggressive.
Yeah, it is challenging in times like this, Finto, when the pressure is really on, and you know, you start to feel your season maybe coming closer and closer to an end. You know, you don't want to play in that 3rd place match tomorrow. You want to be in the finals. You want to be playing for 1st or 2nd, and that's what's on the line here this afternoon. So maybe that pressure is getting them a little bit filled. We'll have to see how all of that gets factored in as we really dive into this best of 3. Best of 3s all weekend here. No best of 5s because we don't have 5 maps to play.
Yeah. Keeping it. It's true. I mean, maybe next season. We do have Arctic coming into the map pool. Things might change up. We're seeing a conservative buy here from Cheeky Breachy's with the just 1 Omen upgrade. I like this. It gives them a slight edge with that Omen, but it keeps them stacked. They're going to be able to buy into full Vesins next round, no matter what happens this round. So a little cautious and not confident enough to buy up the rifles right away. But, you know, we'll see. A lot of more EU teams have taken this meta at the top. The foam is going down on that closet wall over towards A, so it looks like Blaze are once again trying to pressure this A bomb site.
Takes a little bit of time, though, and the caution demonstrated there by the squad as they do push in here to the locker room, to A site. Static emitter gone. EMP going down by Legolo. The cover over the top from Rise as nades and utility come in. The immolation nade does catch them before they get the full EMP plant, so now EMP is stuck on the wall, while Beaver, Stick, and Rise were all pushing up to the top. Oh, did they get it planted? Oh, they did. Wow, they did get it planted. Beaver catches 2 into the smoke. It's a defensive smoke that's come out here, and it's shutting down vision onto the EMP, but not bullets from connecting onto their opponents. This O.O is alone to hold this thing down and find the retake. It's all up to them with an Omen in hand. Not exactly ideal scenario for the Cheeky Breachy defense.
Yeah, brutal. I mean, I think it was actually Cheeky Breachy that threw that smoke out there, but it didn't end up paying off for them with 3 members defending that EMP from up on the hatch. It's just, it doesn't matter if you're hiding behind a smoke because it doesn't block any of the bullets coming through. So it looks like he might even just hold on to this Omen. He knows the retake with 3 of them camped out on the hatch is just, it's a bit too much. So just scrape what you can and take it into the next round, I guess.
Man, that would be the day, wouldn't it? When there's something you can deploy to cover yourself or something like that. I'm just imagining some new utility, Phil, as I start to think about future seasons. You know, think back to that discussion with Hyorin from the Triangle Factory dev team, and yeah, it's there's, you know, this is. It kind of feels like the start, Phil, but it's the end of season 1, Finto, and we've got these teams now tied up 1 apiece. I'm kind of going on a bit of a tirade there, but certainly a nice comeback from Blaze, and now full buys across the board.
I mean, it looks like Blaze already starting to correct what they were doing wrong in the first one. They were definitely a lot more careful with it this time. Had each other's back a bit more, taking out that flank from the start. That early pick really helped them open up the map and take all that control. And then just as soon as getting on that hatch position, it was over for Cheeky Breachy. Despite Cheeky Breachy, it was a 4 versus 3, I think, and they just got taken down 1 at a time as they tried to go for that EMP defuse. It was just not happening once they got that hatch position. So a great play from Blaze there.
Starting off round number 3 now. Phil, we'll see if Blaze put on another great play here with some drone work coming in to identify Breezer, BMO, their locations inside that B site. They have been playing very aggressive. Look at the flash coming out of the window here. Very aggressive utility coming in that stalled Blaze on their initial advancement into B, but also that drone work prevents Blaze from pushing up too far and being overly aggressive. It pushes them all the way back into B site, and it's the push and pull there that's vital and allows Blaze to get set up for B. And that's a real nuanced utility play there that just went on with no kills coming through, but a lot of movement getting forced around by this utility, just like this immolation nade forces Tabs into the back corner. Can't really challenge BMO, otherwise they'll be taking consistent damage. And again, Blaze put into a pausing pattern, although Rise does catch Jado, and down goes BMO from Mr. Tabs. They're going to look to push in, potentially onto B site with Breezer. Odato and Rez still left alive. Another pickup comes in, a 1-for-1 trade. Vreezer keeping things almost even, finds another one, looks for their third, can't find Stickosaurus over the top, and that's going to be everyone on the Cheeky Breachy side going down. Blaze lock in another offensive round, albeit very quickly. No time wasted here, Finto, and Phil can even get a word in because of how quick that round was.
Yeah, it was just non-stop action there. Blaze knowing once again exactly what they're doing. They're definitely starting to pick this up after that first round with that aggression play. Straight in out of storage, working for them this time, which I didn't expect when I saw them set up again. But their Vez and aim and their earlier picks in the round just really helped them out there.
Yeah, they caught some great ones through the doorway, some great ones through the hatch in the wall, and again, that drone work, Phil, almost vital for them to be even able to get into that site.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing from Blaze so far. I mean, we were already back to the basement bomb spawn, just like from the pistol. This time with rifles, they stuck to their guns. They played pretty much the exact same strat. They didn't end up having to spread out and pressure from electric because they just won their fights this time with guns in hand. They look a lot more confident, and that's a good sign from a team for me. You know, a lot of teams, something doesn't work and they immediately try to mix it up and do something they're less comfortable with. So I like to see them sticking with their guns here. It's a good omen for the team Blaze here for the rest of this matchup as we head in to round number 4.
Another bit of drone work coming into the top floor this time, Phil. They got to find if there's any roamers. They got to find Jado, who's tucked in behind monitors. Look at how tight Jado has tucked into this site here, just waiting for the drone to ideally pass right by them, and then they'll spring their trap. One drone certainly has passed right by them, undetected so far as they stay tucked in and potentially flanking onto the backside of all of this Blaze offense.
Yeah, it's something, if you got some viewers in here that maybe aren't as experienced playing competitive breachers at the higher levels, it's a mistake I see a lot of people making is trying to send that drone directly into the bomb sites where there's generally 3 or 4 enemies that could all just shoot it right away. You get a lot more value clearing space on the outside of the map, trying to hunt the roamer down. You get a lot more value out of the drones that way. So it's glad to see Blaze know what they're doing. We got a quick drop into the A bomb site. They already got the EMP onto the wall as the action has been getting underway here on the bottom floor. Oh, and the kills are all rolling in, but we still have Jado upstairs on the roam. Maybe there's a chance for a miracle play here. He comes around, almost finds the first kill onto, what was that, Beaver Bells, but no, it's nearly a flawless round from Blaze there against Cheeky Breaky's Eco.
Yeah, it was their Eco, and, I think Cheeky just trying to get Cheeky there. Finto sending out that top roamer with the Taurus, and that could have been bad if the timing had been just a little bit different there.
I mean, yeah, a lot of that round for Cheeky Breachy, it was unlikely for them to win because of the eco there. Their best bet could have been with that Taurus to get a few picks and see if they could put a dent in some of Blaze's eco, but it just didn't work out for them at all. And against those Vezens, at this highest level of play where it's as soon as you're spotted, you get a headshot and that's it. It just wasn't looking good for them. I think this round, though, is going to be the really defining round of the direction this game's going to go now that both teams have their full buy.
I mean, we're talking Hideout here, or excuse me, Factory. Phil, this is already 3 rounds on offense. That's pretty good. They're going to swap sides. They're going to go and defend in 2 rounds from now, and they're going to already have a lot of hard-to-earn points locked in.
Yeah, what we're seeing here is the main weakness of that really conservative second round buy. Though we see a lot of these top EU teams employee by just a single omen. It really doesn't give you much advantage off of that pistol win to take and string it into even 2 rounds. So it's been a 3-round win streak from Blaze ever since the pistol, and they're firmly in the driver's seat now. But Cheeky Breachy, I gotta say that right. I've been calling him Cheeky Breachy this whole time. Cheeky Breachy. I mean, they got a full gun round now. They're looking to put their second one on the board, and if things go well, they can tie it up in the second half. But things are not going their way so far. Blaze opening things up with 2 huge kills off of the back of that nice nade from Rise.
Yeah, they're fighting in the locker room. They're fighting outside of A, and so far the trades have gone in the way of Blaze. Odato and Rez are still tucked in, trying to avoid the onslaught of utility that's coming their way, and also prevent that EMP plant from going down, because once it goes down, it's incredibly hard to root out, as we saw. An immolation nade comes up and over, and Legolo, I don't believe, gets that plant down in time, but I also thought they didn't get it last time, and now Rise is going to the roof, so maybe the EMP did get planted. Maybe Rise is just taking a bit of a pause in the action here, because they still got 2 minutes left, and they're the only one left alive on the Blaze squad on the attack. This could be Cheeky Breachy picking up a vital defensive round, but they still got some work to do. They still got to get rid of a full HP Blaze attacker.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking good right now. The adaptation, unfortunate flashbang there from Rise, but the adaptation is nice. This time they were able to fully deny. Oh man, twice in a row. You hate to see it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. but no, yeah, nice adaptation from Cheeky Breachy. Cheeky Breachy.
Either way is fine, I think.
Yeah, managing to deny the
same
plant.
thing.
The big difference this time was the placement on that static. It was a little bit farther away from the wall, which didn't allow Blaze to comfortably break it. So you saw, I believe it was Legolo, trying to stick the EMP on both of the static, which was slowing him down and doing damage, and then the nades and the fire grenades all came in, and then he couldn't have possibly run away if he wanted to, because that static was going to slow him down.
Rise is pushing in here now, and again, trying to clutch this thing up. 1v3, all on their lonesome. And there is some defense around B. In particular, you may think that they're off-site, but BMO can just beam through the wall if they time things up properly. And Rise has to be aware of that potential wall bang. They are going to just barely avoid it. BMO now has the back of Rise, watching in case Rise does decide to push in. But Rise catches one and goes past BMO's line of sight, swings around for the double and scoops that up. And now into a 1v1 they go up against Rez, who's tucked in back behind and catches finally the back of Rise. But a near clutch that was about to put Blaze up 4-1 goes the way of Cheeky. Everyone takes some economic damage here as they all lose their rightful investment, except for one player, Finto, and so we stay pretty dang even going into the last round of the first half.
I mean, I was stressed there at the end when it almost got that clutch, but Rez just bringing that back at the end there. I mean, Cheeky Breachy recognized the play instantly. It's what they'd already seen this game. Blaze being a bit of a one-trick pony on that floor. Doing the exact same thing again. It just didn't work for them. We saw a flank coming in from behind, not letting anyone go to the window, even if they did get that plant down to get onto the roof. And we saw the nades coming in perfectly placed. So they knew exactly what was going on. They countered it perfectly. Almost losing it at the end, but still picking it up and taking that well-deserved round.
Yeah, again, we're into a battle here this afternoon, Phil, on the EU side of things. The last game of the semifinals for EU today, but not the last game of the afternoon. We've got North America up shortly after this with a 2-game best-of-3 series to come into. So lots of matches left ahead this afternoon for the Breachers fan. And lots of rounds left ahead here today. This is just map number 1 in a best-of-3, and we're just getting in to the last round of the first half. Utility comes in, and again, great utility from Blaze to force the defense out of this site, out of the aggressive forward positions that they'd like to tuck into, and gaining control of their entry around B. Does that matter? Who knows? There's a lot of utility, wallbang fire, and everything coming through to deter them.
Yeah, and looting as well. They got the opening pick onto Vreezer, and they did a lot of damage through the wall. And unfortunately, Beaverbell is going to find the head of his teammate and do some self-damage, friendly fire there. And that is going to even things up to a 4v4. But the damage coming through, Cheeky Breachy has been taking a lot of damage through this pressure to the A bomb site. They're just sticking to their guns. I mean, I was saying before that it was it was a good sign that they were sticking to what they're used to, but I didn't consider what Finto was saying. Maybe they're just one-trick ponies on this bomb site. This is the only strat they knew, and they just turned it into the most unstoppable strat they can.
Yeah. You get super effective. Man, these flashes have not been going the way of Blaze here. I think that's the third self-flash we've managed to catch on this cam. Not trying to, I promise, guys, but it's happening here, and it's an unfortunate pause that does come in when those flashes don't connect. There, however, is a beautiful flash to the back of BMO, who doesn't even know they're standing in an immolation egg because they can't see it. They'll go down. Oh, great 1-2 combo that enables Rise to push up. Plant on the backside. O.O finds a vital kill, and they'll be looking for more onto the back of B. They have a great line down into the B bomb site, and Rise is going to try and catch the flank through the outside, potentially. Yeah, they're going to try and catch them through the window here. Get rid of O.O on the backside. Maybe even Rez, who also swings in here. A double potential? No, Rise goes down, and that's the worst case, as the trio here turns into a duo, and it's a 2v2.
Yeah, coming up just on about 30 seconds left with that EMP ticking away, and the positioning for both of these Blaze members. I mean, you see Tabs on one point of HP rotating all the way around through the warehouse. Meanwhile, Legolo not in the greatest position to defend, and he's going to go down. It leaves just Tabs alone with 1 health and sprinting around. I believe they got the audio cue. Rez is locked in on this flank. He seems to be aware, and he gets the headshot. That is the 3rd round for Cheeky Breachy, and they're going to tie up the first half 3-3.
Huge comeback on the back end there as they managed to push in and lock it as a duo. Finto, that was definitely looking like Blaze taking that first half and leading 4-2, but suddenly we're into a tie ball game going into the back half of this map.
I mean, a crazy opening, definitely, but an even crazier post-plant. Once they'd finally gotten onto that site after exchanging more wallbangs than I've seen in my entire time in Breachers in 1 round. Finally getting that plant down. The post-plant was so chaotic with no idea where either of those players were. It went from a easily winnable, like 4v2 to a 2v1 to a win. On the Cheeky Breachy side, the coordination from the Cheeky Breachy players and their ability to play off each other is just at such a high skill level.
It's very smooth and it's very in sync. They are really nicely timed up when they make moves. And I think that's got to go to a lot of the comms that they got going on in the background. I'm sure they're very active on their communication, radioing in anything that they see or hear, and then ultimately also processing that info and reacting off of it. It's a lot of really ultimately high-level gameplay that you're seeing here on display by a team like Cheeky Breachy, who is able to do what they're doing on the coordination side. In comparison, Blaze is playing fantastic. To get 3 rounds on offense, I still think is an achievement here on Factory, and so they've got a real chance of taking this first map on the defensive side as we do get into the pistol set here. 30 seconds in, drone work has been done. Locker room seems to be the initial hold down, and that's likely because they're going to be rotating over to A, and they want to make sure that this side is clear before they do that.
Yeah, I like the amount of map control that they have so far. Going for the standard wall, the closet wall, it looks like once again they're trying to get a plant that they can cover from that hatch. It's such a powerful post plant, but Mr. Tabs on a nice little flank into the locker room, but he gets spotted before he finds the kill, but he does manage to find it. Trades going back and forth, and it is Blaze coming out just barely on top with a 3v4, but Legolo keeping the pressure up.
A duo now down to just a slice of HP, and Immolation Aid would do the trick, but it doesn't catch. VRCOVER as Beaver swings. Rez tucks back with their pistol in a 1v2. Has some HP damage done to Beaver, but Legolo's full. And it's going to be a tough comeback for them, but they are alive, and they may be able to string something together here.
And it was looking so good. They had so much locker room control, and then I don't know where Mr. Tabs came from. He was on a roam downstairs, I suppose, coming up orange stairs and managing to find... They went from having so much map control to being like pinched in between on both sides. But it's a 1v2 now. Don't count Rez out. Unfortunately, it looks like nobody bought the pistol stims this round, and it's going to be Beaver Bells coming out on top as Rez swings out for the final kill of the pistol round. And Blaze take a lead here in the second half, up 4-3.
The start they needed off of what it was otherwise around first half that they were winning for the most time of that first half. Cheeky crawled back and got those 3 points they needed to tie it up. But Finto, Blaze are off to another good start here on map 1.
After this side swap, we're really seeing the differences that define these two teams and what makes them special in their own way. We're really seeing a lot of aggression from Blaze, even on the defense side. That round was so chaotic, just purely due to the fact how spread out Blaze was and their ability to play as solo players across the entire map, just keeping that map control and not giving Cheeky Breachy a single bit of wiggle room to even get close to the sites.
It's anyone's game, to be honest, right now, Phil. It makes me wonder what maps 2 and 3 are going to look like, because those are to be determined. They are coming up quickly after this at this place. If Blaze can find 3 more points, they've locked in map number 1, and we move on to a map 2 potential series decider. It's just a best of 3. There's not a lot of room to win or lose here. Ties are great. They extend your lifespan, but even then, you only got 3 maps to play out here, and I say only, but it's like 2.5 hours of breachers if you go the full distance. So it could be a lot of breachers ahead of these players, in which case they are really going to be sweating it up, Phil. And drone work coming in here as they push their way up to a site.
That's right, Blaze off to a great start in the second half, looking to extend that lead with the hero rifle buy on Beaver Bells. I like this economic strategy, and the key here is he going to be able to put that Vezin to work? We see a lot of teams buy up a solo Vezin, and by the time that person with the Vezin takes fights, 3-4 teammates are already dead, and it's a little bit too late. But Beaver Bells locked right in the back of that A bomb site, getting involved immediately. Says no, the Vezin is going to be up front taking the fights. I like the way he's playing this.
BMO identifies Mr. Tabs on the top floor by playing a very patient defensive sort of flank protection. Look at the angle they have all the way down onto the stairs. It's a great way of not having to push into the 3rd floor, but still watch that 3rd floor stairwell. Here, the whole push now has the confidence to advance into sight and challenge Beaver in this full rifle. Rise also has the confidence to challenge, though. They'll push out. Beaver will catch another one. Cheeky Breachy getting chipped apart as they try to push in with a limited bit of utility and weaponry. O.O almost catches the headshot there, as Beaver does go down to a slice of HP, but it does leave BMO alone in a 1v5 of all things, because Rise still has 1 HP and is alive, so everyone's still holding on onto the Blaze end.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming through, but if they do manage to get to find the clean kill onto BMO, they're still on track for technically a flawless round here. And as I say that, Caster's Curse immediately, BMO finds the kill onto Mr. Tabs, but now it's a 4 versus 1, and his position is given away. It is going to be a firing squad as multiple Blaze members come swinging out, and that is a 5-3 lead. Blaze managed to convert after winning the pistol.
Finto, that was a big eco round again from Cheeky Breachy. 2 in a row, though, coming off of that pistol loss. And so now they should have some money to invest. This is going to be the big round, I think.
I mean, you can really tell the Blaze is confident in their ability to win this game. A Vezin in the round after pistol round is a very big play, because if you lose that, then the other team has that going into the next round, saving all that money, and you don't, which is a massive disadvantage. But them going for that buy and investing in that in the second round of the side swap just shows their confidence right now, which is paying off for them. 5-3 is not a cam score for Cheeky Breachy.
Yeah, it is. Well, again, a vital round coming up here, Phil, for this Cheeky Breachy squad. The deciding round, I would say, if they lose here, what I don't think they have much of an economy, if anything, to go against a fully kitted Blaze team on the defense in round 10.
Yeah, basically just because of how little, they literally have no money left in the bank after this round. So this is basically map point for them. And like if they don't win here, they're gonna have to win in a save round basically next round to stay alive. So this is do or die.
It's possible, okay, Phil. We've seen actually a lot of save round wins so far this postseason, oddly enough. So, who knows what's going to happen even if we come to that save round. But, yeah, it's definitely not where you want to be if you're on the Cheeky Breachy squad. And, well, it's, again, a big round. Pressure is on right now, and we'll see if they can find some early picks to set themselves up nicely. They take early damage instead. Mr. Tabs nearly finds a full kill through the wall, and everyone here pumping rounds through this wall, all trying to get a little bit of chip damage down. Health syringes aren't here, unfortunately, for Cheeky Breachy, and Rise scoops up O.O. trying to peek that doorway. All angles are held and covered and vulnerable as well to a flank and more utility. That audio transmitter annoying and disrupting and giving away positions of this Cheeky Breachy offense. And so now, what is the play for the Cheeky Breachy squad? I think it's still to push B site, it seems.
Emo finding a nice
Good
headshot
nade.
onto
Oh
Mr.
my.
Tabs there. They're going to open up the B wall as well. The A wall was opened up very early in this round, which is an interesting choice, and it ends up not paying off as Beaver Bells is able to find the headshot there onto Jado, and it's now a 2 versus 4 situation. And it's, like we said, this is pretty much a do or die round for Cheeky Breachy. They have to win this, or they're going on to heavily onto the back foot. Not to mention, Blaze will already be on map point, meaning the best they'll be able to do after a loss is a tie.
Not where you want to be. And you got to take a deep breath if you're on the Cheeky Breachy squad, kind of reassess, refocus, and get ready for what is going to have to be a long comeback. And maybe, Phil, the call honest, I mean, eco, right? We've talked about ecos and doing them even in like way more extreme scenarios. You know, if you have 4 left alive and you just don't get the right push, you eco. I really, this is the time, Phil. This is when you hold on to these rifles, when you've got nothing left going into the next round. And realistically, do you want to put it all on a 2v4 or at least have some pistols to back your rifles up? I don't know, you know?
Yeah, this one is, there's definitely some gray area for both sense. I mean, you could go either way, but I think they are going to decide to make the call with 30 seconds left on the clock. You see Rez climbing up to the roof. So yeah, it sucks though if you're a Cheeky Breachy fan, because Matt Point already going on to the way of Blaze. The worst that they're going to be able to do from here on out is a tie, like we said. Yeah, I don't know. Blaze is off to a real good start. That's what I'll say.
This is a decision, too, that can hurt you mentally if you're Cheeky Breachy, if you're not careful, right? Because you are now committing into the idea that you need 3 maps to play out this afternoon. You're not getting this in 2. You know, you don't have that momentum of the possibility here is we could be over here in 2 maps. Instead, if anything, it's the other way around. And to your point now, they have to tie this and then win, or tie win. You know, it's a lot of rounds ahead. And you cannot let that get to you if you're on the Cheeky Breachy squad, right, Finta? You have to be able to focus on this next round because there's still a shot here. 3 rifles and a Taurus is not ideal, but it's better than nothing.
I mean, we've seen crazier comebacks. It's not they're not that far off. Bringing this back, and you know, especially 3 Vezins, Taurus, Jesper, it's definitely possible, and it's definitely something we could see today. Just Cheeky Breachy just needs to make sure it doesn't get to their heads, and they can keep that competitive mindset and keep playing confidently as a team.
Not easy to do when the pressure's on, though, and the pressure is most definitely on, Phil. We're getting closer and closer to the season finale, the season finals just tomorrow. It's, you know, it's right there, that prize pool, the competing for that first place, competing for the prestige of Season 1 champions in the VRML. It's, again, there's a lot that can get you thinking about not more than just the game, and you have to be able to focus those distractions out, focus on the round to round. And it is kind of what separates the top teams from the rest, you know, being able to work under the pressure. And we've seen, man, some standout shooters this weekend, last weekend, you know, already really stepping up and, you know, playing super well under the pressure.
Yeah, that's right. You just got to take it one round at a time. You know, don't let anything else get in your head except for what's right in front of you. Stay in the moment. And so far, both of these teams are putting on a clinic with how well the individual performance. We're not seeing a lot of slop in this play at all. Like, both teams are playing tight. And yeah, those 2 Vezins saved from last round are making a huge difference here. This looks a lot more doable with 3 Vezins on your team as opposed to just having 1. And it looks like a sweep through the museum side as they're heading towards the bomb site. Beaver Bells finds a nice wall bang kill. Onto things are not going the way for Cheeky Breachy are looking for. This may be the end of map 1 unless Vreezer and Jado can pull off an amazing 2 versus 5.
Mr. Tabs came in with a huge flank as Jado shuts down Rise trying to push in, and it's caused this duo to pause on everything they want to do. Vreezer is holding the back end, waiting for Tabs to reappear, but Tabs is already relocated all the way back to A site. At least a health syringe gets scooped up by Jado, and so the duo has to fight now into this 2v4. Doable with rifles in hand. It's their best chance they're going to get, but This Blaze squad is starting to look confident, look smooth. They're doing big rotations onto the flanks and catching multiple kills, so they are definitely playing to their pace as another trade comes in and it leaves Breezer alone.
Ooh.
And actually, a 1v2, not bad. A wallbang headshot comes through there. Vital. They needed that one.
Yeah, that was absolutely crucial. I was going to say they were in for a bit of a surprise. They're rotating quickly back towards the assembly side. They haven't even broken... the main issue that Cheeky Breachy is having here is they never broke the door blocker in the office room with the flip table. So it just gives the Blaze the confidence knowing that, first of all, the proximity sensor is still there going off. So they'll know if you're going that way. He's going to foam up the wall instead of breaking the door blocker, which really allows the defense to focus their efforts into one choke that he's opening up. And so he's going to have to find 2 headshots here. 25 seconds left on the clock. Nice little nade to give himself a little bit of space, but it is Stickosaurus tucked around the corner with the off angle. Gonna come out on top, and map 1 goes over to Blaze EU.
A solid job from the Blaze EU squad, and I suppose I think I had Blaze, but Finto, you had Cheeky Breachy. Is this the sort of map 1 performance you anticipated them to put on against this Blaze team?
Really, no, I expected Cheeky Breachy to do quite a lot better. I think overall there was a lot of util usage from Blaze. Two instant kills throughout the whole game is a lot more than we see in other matches, and I think that's really helping them out this game. And Cheeky Breachies didn't have that kind of momentum and aggression on their pushes when on the attacking side to pick up any round. So it was just failed strat after failed strat. A great game from Blaze though.
Yeah, it really was. They came into play here this afternoon, Phil. They are looking good. They're playing clean. Their defense and offense looks good. And the standout shooters of Rise and Beaver Bells with 12 and 11, respectively. That's pretty dang good, coming in at over 20 together. In comparison, Vreezer with 10. The next best for Cheeky was 6. So not a lot of kills coming in as well. And you got to factor that all into the momentum and how that carries on going into map 2.
Yeah, the ability to stay headstrong after losing the first map is always a test of a team, and yeah, I like a lot of what I'm seeing from Blaze. Any team that is buying 2 stims on a pistol round, I'm telling you, that's just a good sign. I feel like they are focused, they're strategically thinking about the game, they're pushing the meta forward, and that's what I'm all about.
I think we saw it from Cheeky too. So these teams are trying new things out, and I think that was one of the rounds Cheeky did even win, was with that pistol round. But we're already going into map 2, Phil. These teams are not waiting around at all, and we are diving into Hideout. We've got Cheeky Breachy on defense and Blaze EU on the attack for round number 1 here, Finto. We're going to the basement. Gosh, it isn't. Oh, no, we're not. Okay, wow. I thought we were headed to the basement, Phil. I think every pistol round has been basement so far this postseason, but we're headed to the middle floor, Finto, for our first round.
I mean, if you're Blaze right now, you're in a really good position. You just won your last game 7-3. You're really happy. The adrenaline, the excitement, and the aim is at an all-time high right now, and they're in a great position for this game. This could be good for them.
We saw a lot of 3-map games over the course of the last few weekends, Phil. We still could very well see that happen here today if Cheeky Breachy can start things off strong on the defense, and it may start with BMO here finding something as they're tucked in. They'll get identified by the drone, and Stickosaurus springs their trap onto the back, almost catching BMO. BMO only takes a slice of damage, though, and tucks back in to hold on to the B site as Garage seems to be the attempted play here. Look at Rez swinging all the way outside, out of bounds, out of the objective space to catch the kills. This is Cheeky absolutely shutting down Blaze on any momentum they wanted to carry through into this next round. This pistol set absolutely going their way, and it's going to take a lot for Legolo to come back here because, Phil, they're going up against 2 syringes on this Cheeky Breachy squad, and all of these health bars are going to get filled up.
That's right. 2 syringes, 2 strong on the pistol. I'm telling you, and you love to see it. It's exactly what Cheeky I'm glad to see with how quick they went into the second map. Them coming out swinging like this tells me that they are not shook from that first map. So Yeah, Legolo in a 1v4. This would be an amazing clutch, but the way Cheeky is playing right now, I got a feeling Blaze is in for a much different matchup than they had to face on Factory.
They had a tough start on map 2 as well, though, so we're not going to count Blaze out by any means just yet. They came back on their second round eco with rifles going into Cheeky Breachy, so, you know, who knows what they'll be able to do round 2. Even still, with Legolo here in this one, you know, any damage done is net positive because, well, actually not really. They're going to be able to carry their investment through for the most part. Those syringes are the big investment. And unless you get 3 kills, you're not going to do economic damage because both of those syringes will get carried through. So
Even
that's
with
all
3,
order for Legolo.
even with 3 kills, they he would have to win. He can carry both the syringe. Any one player can carry both the syringes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's I mean, he's in a tough spot, but we'll see what adaptation Cheeky Breachy makes, because like you said last map, it was right after they won the pistol, they were not able to string that second round together with a single on the back of an Omen buy. They're on defense again. They're gonna most likely get another shot at it as Legolo creeping around the corner, spots the leg of BMO behind the counter there. Now it's just attention. BMO comes out pre-firing, somehow just has the intuition to know somebody's eyes were looking at my legs. I'm gonna just
I think they spotted him. I think they spotted him on the peak there, but even if they didn't, some great headshots and almost a great read there by that last attacker on Blaze. But Finto, you throw all of that momentum out the window at this stage, right? I mean, the pistol rounds into the hands of Cheeky Breachy, and they can now pick up some rifles if they so choose.
I mean, we're seeing basically exactly what we saw the first pistol round of the first map today, where Blaze just got completely stopped before they could get into the sides, and in fact they could even get in the door there with Rez and Breezer. All of the players a lot more aggressive than they were last game.
I gotta wonder
working out for them pretty well.
I wonder if maybe it's because of, you know, there's limited footage on the EU squad, EU side in terms of plays and games played, but maybe they've managed to do some research on this Blaze team, because that almost felt in some ways like a counter defense. You know, they really were anticipating that push in from that Blaze squad.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Seems like there's some preparation at work. Both of these teams know their opponent's strats, and yeah, catching them off guard with that aggressive play into the garage paid dividends. As we go into round number 2.
Now, round number 2 indeed, and map 2 for those just tuning in. As Beaver Bells catches Freezer, trying to hold the doorway down and prevent any advancement up for any bomb planting, as BMO and Rez now are the ones that are holding down A. And a beautiful nade toss is going to shut down their rifle holder. Rez has to get over there and scoop that rifle up, so they're going to throw a frag out. In the meantime, another frag right onto that rifle, catches another kill. They send Rez over there again to scoop it up, but Rez gets identified. If there's any more utility, Rez is in a bad spot because these nades have been hitting. They've got the rifle in hand, though, and they'll find Rise over the top for the first headshot. Low HP, where's the health syringe? Immolation nade gets tossed, doesn't bounce the way Rez was hoping, and now it's going to give an opportunity for Beaver to advance in. EMP plant with confidence, a 2v4, and Blaze again might take round number 2 off of losing their pistol set.
Yeah, this is looking rough. I mean, Jado with the Vezin in the hand is kind of their only saving grace into this round. Either he's going to have to pop off and get a huge multi-kill here, or I don't know, Blaze are looking to once again shut down Cheeky Breachy's ability to string together the second round after winning the pistol. I'm not sure what it is about the second round against a single Vezin, but they just have the plan and it's working out every time. So far,
I think Phil, we may see another eco here, but this time from Cheeky, because they may just try and tuck in and hold on to this rifle in the backside, as Rez does get healed up with the syringe there, and I think they're just going to defend the rifle. I don't think they're pushing for that retake, and I think this is Blaze scooping up another round. EMP will go through, and I love to see the patience, at least, and the dedication to carrying these weapons into the next round, the understanding of the economy impact, and ultimately that rifle save may really, I mean, it's going to enable them to have, I think, 4 rifles instead of 3 and 2 pistols.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's huge, Finto. I don't know if you agree, but I think saving there was absolutely brilliant, because, I mean, losing the second round sucks, but losing the rifle is much worse.
Yeah, saving that, as I said, a rifle on the round after pistol round is a huge investment, and saving that was definitely the best play. It's unfortunate that there was one point where Cheeky Breachy was in such a great position. The plant had not gone down. All of the Blaze members had backed off, and Rez went to throw that instant right onto where the plant should have been, and it just bounced off. And I think if that late nade had landed, it could have been a completely different story. But after Blaze got that plant down, the post plant of that position is just so good for the attackers. It just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's so many little things that ultimately lead us to these round wins too. I'm just taking a quick look at chat and people commenting that, Phil, it's not just the health syringes, okay? It's also the aim, the utility. Yeah, there's a million things that come together to make a round win, but ultimately that unique stim play is something that can certainly seem to help in these early rounds. And, well, maybe not the later rounds, because round 2, again, going into Blaze's hands, and a great start with Legolas scooping up a kill inside Garage. That's vital pick because they need Garage, but look at that off beta position there from Freezer as they were vaulted up on top over the top of the car. I have not seen someone do that, and it caught a vital kill through that doorway. Legolas is going to get smoked out, stalling their entry, and for now, Blaze is going to have to be put onto a holding pattern with this utility coming out.
Yeah, brilliant recovery. As I say that, Stickosaurus just vaults into the laundry window and finds himself a nice double kill, and then he comes around Blazer, who has to hit a nice flick snapshot, and somehow Rez has found a pick onto Beaver as well. They've evened it up to a 2v2, make that a 1v2. Legolas is now all alone. And this round started out so well for Blaze. They had a lot of pressure going in, and that vault in from Stickosaurus came out huge, but somehow Cheeky Breachy has turned it around on its head and are in the advantage here.
What do you do if you're Blaze? Do you know you have... what's the kill count like? Do you have that in your mind? Do they have the date? I mean, I'm sure the team is telling them that there's 3 down right now, so Legolas should have the info they need to know they're in a 1v2. Do you take that 1v2? Pressure's on. EMP is down, but ultimately no one's in Garage right now, so EMP can get scooped up.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a chance here to push into B, or maybe rotate all the way to A.
Yeah, this is definitely a full send situation. The 1v2, it's too possible. You have so much time left on the clock. You isolate a single 1v1, you get the kill there, and then you're in a 1v1 itself. You're 2 kills away from glory here. It's too good an opportunity to let pass. But with a minute left on the clock, he's going to have to make a move here soon before the pressure of the clock starts to mount. I mean, the 1v2 is enough pressure, and the farther that clock winds down, the more that pressure is going to be creeping up. And Legolo looks like he's going to try to commit to the crouch walk all the way around to try to get that surprise sneak attack for the first kill. But at some point, he's going to have to pick up the pace.
Yeah, 35 seconds left. They'll get a notification that the time is ticking down here, and they will be slowly working their way in. I don't know that Freezer heard anything until now, as the EMP plant doesn't go down where they want it, finally gets it on the wall. That gives away that play is coming in. Nade comes through. Legolo able to get past the line of fire from Freezer. Gonna go for the re-peek, and Freezer reads it great with the pre-fire through the door, preventing any peeking from coming in. They know the time was only 10 seconds left, and ultimately a great play from Cheeky Breachy to stay in this. It's a lot of game knowledge that's coming through here in these rounds that you may not really notice if you're not a person that's watched a lot of Breacers, Finto, and it's really impressive to see these two teams fight it out here today.
I mean, that was a great round. Comebacks from comebacks. Both teams doing exceptionally well. Cheeky Breachy just picking it up in the end, though, bringing it down to a 2v1. But some great plays, especially the flanks from Blaze, straight from I think it was from Laundry into Garage, taking out any defense there, and then the collateral from I think it was Stickosaurus. Yeah, just so many great plays there, but ultimately just trade after trade, bringing it down to that 2v1. Cheeky Breachy doing really well to pick that up.
Yeah, we just pulled up the scoreboard there. You're seeing kills come in across both squads this afternoon. A little bit different than, well, I suppose it was like this again in map 1. So who knows, Phil, you can't get comfortable if you're a Cheeky Breachy squad right now, because frankly, even one round on the offense here could be the one round they need to get the map win.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, once we go into the second half and the money gets reset, all the momentum kind of gets stifled. But they're off to a good start here. I mean, Blaze is stuck onto nothing but pistols and some utility to work with. So this is going to be hopefully a walk in the park round, knock on wood. Let me not caster's curse this for Cheeky Breachy here, but they've got 3 members here on the A bomb site to defend, and this is going to be the attack as the wall gets opened up. Static is in a great place. This time, nobody is home for that nade to be catching kills. There were 2 big kills last time on the top floor here. This time, nobody is home.
Yep, nobody is home, and everybody has guns, everybody has rifles, everybody's a threat with utility. There's the nade that bounces right into Rez, and Rez somehow heals and runs away, survives just a slice of HP. The rest of Blaze absolutely picked apart by this Cheeky Breachy defense. And Stickosaurus is trying to battle back an entire team with rifles with a pistol to their name. Not exactly an easy eco round here for Blaze. Not exactly a big eco round W. And if anything, it's going to be Cheeky Breachy looking very good into the back these last few rounds here as O.O scoops up the final kill, and there's a 3-1 lead in the pocket for Cheeky Breachy, Finto. This is more, I think, maybe what we were anticipating when we talked about this team in the pre-show.
I mean, definitely. It's interesting to see how Blaze is bringing out the same strategy like they did in the previous game, which led to their loss of one of their rounds, and they just brought out that same strategy this time. Cheeky Breachy with the perfectly placed util to stop that plant, because as soon as Blaze gets that post plant, no matter their weapons, it's really difficult for Cheeky Breachy to get the retake there. But this time the util coming in perfectly and giving Cheeky Breachy that excellently played round.
It's so hard because it goes so underrated, right, as a skill that we don't talk about, Finto. The nade tossing, the pool, like we think about a pool where you bounce it off walls. There's a lot of angle trajectory there's math that these players are doing to factor off these bounces sometimes.
Simple geometry, as my boy Hanzo would say.
Yeah, well, maybe not maybe more complex than it seems, because we've seen a lot of great nade tosses today, but also a couple that haven't gone the way they need to, if I recall you to the flashbangs thrown on Factory. So, certainly, it goes to show you again how hard it is to throw these nades and how hard it is to do it consistently every time, and how impressed you should be when you see 4 grenades go perfectly into a back corner like that, because that is not an easy grenade toss to corner pocket like that. So super impressive, again, show of game skill so far, as we do just kind of patiently wait for Blaze to very slowly kind of poke and prod around the overall objective, working through this top floor, making sure no one's here in garage, no one's here on the upper floor, and ultimately trying to maybe change the pace up themselves in terms of how quick they were pushing on the offense.
Yeah, I like the little change-up curveball of pace they're throwing out here, taking a little more methodic approach. They're also very spread out across the map. So you've got Rise is actually way over back. He snuck all the way in through Wine Cellar with nothing but a pistol to his name, but they've got players scattered all over the place, and they're going to just poke this defense from all angles and see where it has weaknesses and where it fails. And so far, no weaknesses to be found.
Yeah, this is a tight defense here, locked up and waiting. They've got all the kits and utility they need to hold this thing down. So Jado and Freezer are maybe going to be the first up. O.O actually will be, as Rise finds the kill onto the back. They quickly get refragged. They're able to toss a nade that Freezer has to avoid, and that's when the team pushes down into Jado's line of fire. They lose that initial advance, and Stickosaurus tries to catch Freezer, does catch Freezer. Jado with a quick repeat, and now the door blocker here, not denying vision. I thought it might, as Legolo doesn't decide to push in through the hole in the wall and continues to advance through the open doorway, maybe now shifting to the hole in the wall. But they are in a 1v3 bind, and frankly, Phil, they can't afford to lose the rifle right now.
No, this is a really tough situation for Blaze in general. Going into the last round, they're already not going to have a lot of money to work with, even if Legolo brings this Vezin with him. This is one of those on-the-fence decisions where, he's got the stim, he's got the health, he's got the EMP in his hands. Maybe you just send it. Maybe there's a chance for the 1v3 here to really get them back into this half. Otherwise, yeah, the last round is going to be tough because Cheeky Breachy has all the money to work with. But with 25 seconds left on the clock, it looks like he is going to be going for the save. And shout outs to Cheeky Breachy, man. They have really showed up on this second map.
Oh yeah,
they've shaken off the jitters from the first map, and they're ready to play here today.
They still have the task ahead of them of going on to the offense side. One more round here on defense and then offense. And I think Blaze didn't go full buy this. Well, no, they did. Their money is almost gone. So they're going to be in a tough spot in this last round of the first half. But Finto, I'm curious on your thoughts on a map like Hideout. I feel like it tends to lend itself more to offense than defense. And so it really does feel like Cheeky Breach, you're set up in a good spot. But is one round for Blaze enough for them to then swap sides and put up a perfect defensive set?
I mean, it's really what I always thought, that it's completely agree with you. It can be quite attacker-sided sometimes, especially the post plants. But Blaze is just struggling to get onto these sites and get themselves in a post plant position at all. Their momentum and aggression just isn't there like it has been in the previous game. It's just not looking good for them, even when they do have the rifles.
Yeah, Sky's Factory definitely went their way, and they came back off of a 3-3 first half. So even then, a pretty close first half for them that they managed to then kind of inch out a 7-3 win. So Cheeky have been fighting tooth and nail every way through this series so far. And to your point, Phil, it's great to see them running with some momentum now and really starting to get aggressive, starting to see some of that confidence come through with them as a squad. They're starting to hit their shots, hit their nade throws a little bit more consistently. And I think that's what's really kind of, maybe it's just the warm-up, maybe it's the comfortability of this team after a, hard-fought map one. And, not even really much time between maps to readjust or anything. Maybe it just wasn't their map. It just wasn't their start. Who knows? But now they're looking good. They're fully set up, as is Blaze. They've managed their economy well enough to come in here with 4 rifles, utility, and a pistol. And it's going to be the full battle for a site, it seems, again. Blaze really hone in on that one objective they want to push and go for it all series, it feels like.
Yeah, that seems to be the Blaze method. Don't really have a deep playbook with a lot of different strats. They just choose one strat pretty much for each bomb strat and try to keep it as unstoppable of a strat as they can and refine it as close as they can to perfection. But you can see the adaptation from Cheeky Breachy. They're here. BMO's got that nade in hand waiting for that EMP plant to go off, and as soon as it does, there's going to be a nade right around the corner and the EMP will be stuck. But like we've talked about, if the EMP does go down in that spot, it is such a powerful post plant situation for Team Blaze here. So really kind of reliant. Cheeky Breachy really need to stop this plant from going off or they're going to be in a tough spot.
We are into a nuanced back and forth here with health syringes keeping everyone alive until Breezer finally finds one. They'll go down from Mr. Tabs, and now the EMP can get planted if Tabs could find the dang thing. BMO applying some pressure and Tabs throwing utility. A beautiful flash that stuns Jadao and Rez on the over-the-top, enables Tabs to stick the EMP plant, and finally they're into a retake defend position on the offense. It's taking them 5 rounds, but they're here on round 6 in the first half. And oh no, a faulty vault there from Mr. Tabs puts them down into a 2v3.
Yeah, the post plant is on though. Legolo from that window gonna find the picks onto OO and Jado. Rez manages to get the snapshot. The 3-piece gets shut down, but now it's Stickosaurus playing from the outside. Rez gonna have to go for the tap here. The vault noise must have been heard there. He's gonna be able to get a tick here. 1 versus 1. Still 25 seconds, plenty of time for Rez to get this defuse, but if he can't find the kill, he's not going to feel comfortable enough to stick that. And there it is, the headshot from Rez, and I believe he's got plenty of time to finish off these last 2 ticks. And yes, 15 seconds to spare. Cheeky Breachy take the first half 5-1.
I mean, we could be flying into map 3 at this pace, quite frankly, Finto, because they got a pistol round and if they win that advantage round with their economy, and that's all they need, the 1-2 punch to put them into that map 3. Do you think it's going to happen here? I mean, I guess this is really the deciding factor, is this pistol round, to see if Cheeky Breachy are going to have an opportunity to lock this in right now, or if we're going to have Blaze fighting a little bit. I don't know what we're going to really get here, but great series so far, I think.
I mean, I think it's definitely possible, though. Cheeky Breachy didn't do too well when they were on the attack of Factory, not able to pick up any rounds. We could see that again, but clearly I think they've shown for this map to be their preferred, what they are a lot better at. As well, Although Blaze struggling with the attack a bit more. Considering that they did the same push 3 different times on that map, and Cheeky Breachy 2 out of those 3 times adapting to it perfectly. It could go either way, honestly, right now, but slightly leaning towards Cheeky Breachy with that 5-1 score.
It is the EU Season 1 semifinals here, the last best of 3 before we get to that third place and grand finals matchup tomorrow. There's a lot on the line. The pressure is starting to mount up, and at this stage, Cheeky Breachy are so close to pushing us to a third map, which they need if they want to advance on to that final stage against .com, not Velocity Esports. Spoiler alert, if you missed it. You shouldn't have. But it happened also pretty early if you were on the NA side. Watch the VOD. It's a great battle. And look at the nade tosses. The double nade. VRML somehow stays alive, but does get pushed out into the line of fire of Jado. Dot. And the nade there that completely equalizes things back. Another beautiful toss, forcing Vreezer to stay out of this doorway, allowing Tabs to push up to the stairs and take control of this space. They're going to now be pushing in with Rez and BMO finally reinforcing. It's going to be hard for Tabs to swing onto Vreezer.
Yeah, Rise was with a huge kamikaze double kill nade there, managing to bring this back to a 3 versus 3. No stims on the server here for this pistol round. A little bit disappointed to see that, but this round, just like the series, is still anyone's game as Mr. Tabs tries to get a cheeky peek out of the upstairs window from Laundry, and BMO with the Jesper is... Wait a minute, BMO has a Jesper. There must be stims on the server.
Yeah, there is. Vreezer has one in hand right now and may be able to give it to Rez, who's super low inside this basement space. There's the toss to the back of Rez, and there's the Hell Syringe, keeping Rez in the fight. They'll quickly get it off. No, they don't. They don't need the Hell Syringe. They say, oh, I'll wait for it to come back up. I'm still pushing. They look for that fight. Legolo and Stickosaurus here are battling, and Rez going to go for the EMP plant. Legolo swings out, and Rez finds 2 with 20 HP on the block. They manage to scoop up a double, and 3 left alive. No, 2, excuse me, puts Cheeky Breachy into a 6-1 map point coming up here. Finto, what a comeback. I mean, that's kind of a crazy peak there to not wait for the Hell Syringe.
Shocks from Rez. I've seen Rez play before. I played with him before for a long time, and he can be a bit of a crazy player, but that was not what I was expecting. 12 HP and picking up a double. Only Rez could do it. Although we have seen some other great plays that round, especially from the Yuta, which we've seen coming in a lot throughout this game. Rise with that double kill on the nade opened up a lot of things for Blaze, a lot of opportunities for them in that round, even if they didn't manage to pick up the win.
And Phil, look at this, no surprise, but it's a huge investment from Cheeky Breachy off of that pistol win. 4 rifles and an RMP. They are taking it all here up against the pistols of Blaze on defense. I mean, this could really be a 7-1 map too, and what a switch and pacing here.
Yeah, I think this is the really smart call from the in-game lead. This is going to be the most lopsided chance. I mean, technically you have 5 more rounds to close this out, 5 chances to win this map, and this is the one where you're going to have the biggest advantage as far as guns and utility. So throw it all into this round. This is going to be your best chance, and yeah, we very well likely could be seeing a 7-1, and this is huge. That means we'll be going to a map 3 decider. Those, again, like you said, these are the last 4 teams. One of these teams today is going to be progressing on to the grand finals tomorrow, while the other one will be falling down into the 3rd place match. Still a chance to fight for some of this cash and prize pool, but this is definitely, the stakes are pretty high here.
Yeah, they are certainly elevated to say the least, and the Cheeky Breachy squad here reevaluates their plan to push in to B. Instead, taking it a little bit slower, really doing their due diligence to clear out the overall area before they work their way in. And it's smart because look where Legolo has been positioned, extending kind of forward here into the A site area, waiting for Jado, and Jado scoops up that kill. On the other side, they lost another, and so it's only 3 on B to hold things down for Blaze here. Make it 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stickosaurus trying to rotate last minute into the connector. Unfortunately, Vreezer catching a little bit of reverse friendly fire there, but Rez finding the kill. Mr. Tabs now he has a Vezet in hand. That's their one saving grace. Again, this is do or die here. Blaze have to win this round in order to stay alive in this map. Tabs going to find the first one. 2 more to go as Jado pressuring at that kill box, and they're already in a post-plant situation. That EMP is planted. You see BMO and Jado both outside I'm sorry, Jado tucked in, but you know this is such a difficult 1v2 here for Mr. Tabs. I mean, we saw the other round they were Blaze's. I'm sorry, Tricky Breachy was able to pull off a clutch in this reverse situation, but the clock is winding down. Again, the pressure has got to be so high on Mr. Tab's shoulders.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I like the stack here, but that's not what you want things to open up with. Blind guesswork, I think, as they just assume someone could be there. They find the wallbang headshot. Time continues to tick down, and Mr. Tab's not going to have enough of it, or will they?
Let's go!
It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
He's got it. He's definitely got it. Oh, he doesn't
No!
get it!
They don't get it. Mr. Tabs finds the key
my
kills, and
goodness.
instead it's Cheeky Breachy taking the win 7-1 off of an EMP plant on the attack. The second round in the back half, and we're headed to that map 3 decider, Finto. That was as close as it gets, but we were headed to the map 3 regardless. So I guess we're looking forward to now see who's going to come out on top here in a third map. And we don't know the map ban, so I guess where do you think we're headed for map 3?
Well, I mean, it really depends on. I think honestly, if it's, you know, we could see some more Factory. Blaze was really excelling at that.
Ship or Skyscraper are the two that are left in that pool.
Sorry, Ship. I think we could see some Ship. We know Skyscraper can be quite difficult and sighted, and it was a big play in the upset set last game. So I think we could see some Ship.
It's anyone's game right now, Phil. It feels like I don't know how this is going to shake out, but I mean, your thoughts on our first 2 maps on the EU side as we get ready for map 3?
Yeah, it could go either way. I mean, Cheeky Breachy definitely has the momentum, obviously, after coming off of a 7-1 win. But I think Blaze knows that they didn't really get the chance to get the ball rolling there in that map. So it's going to come down to who's feeling it. I mean, it depends on what was banned. If Ship was banned and we're going to Skyscraper, whoever's starting out on the attack, if they can't string a couple of rounds together, this thing could be over before. But I mean, even if you go 6-0 on defense, you're never safe on Skyscraper, because I've had matches where we've lost 6-0 and then we've drawn the map, or lost 5-1 and then come back and win 7-5. 6 rounds in a row is not super uncommon on a map like Skyscraper, and it is going to be Skyscraper for map number 3, as I think we got a little bit of a timeout from the Cheeky Breachy side.
I think we are, and that makes sense. I'm trying to get the data now on if we are going to be going into that full 10 minutes, but I think we're going to go into a little bit of a break at least. And we do have some great interviews that we cut from both of these teams with Blaze and Cheeky Breachy. So if you didn't get those into the pre-show, we will certainly come back and you'll be able to watch those here in this upcoming break. But yeah, we are going to go to a brief intermission here, and a reminder that NA starts almost right after this. The pre-show is positioned to start at 1:30 p.m. PST. Gibular Bob may be stepping in to host. Who knows? We'll have to see. But for now, at least, it is going to be a brief break, and we'll come back for map number 3. Do not want to miss out on this action. It is the EU semifinals, and we got one more map to go to figure out who's going to go up against .com tomorrow for that first or second place. So don't go anywhere. More action coming up.
Welcome back to the Breachers VRML, everybody. I'm your host, Gibular Bob, and today we're with Cheeky Breachy. Currently in the EU semi-finals. We've got GDS Hero, Rez, and Black Hat VR. How you guys doing today?
Good, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're living, laughing, loving. We're excited to be here. Yeah, a little awkward, but yeah, we're excited.
All right, so just a couple of questions for you here. First off, we're just coming out of the quarterfinals. So how did you feel heading into your matchup against French Resistance last weekend?
Yeah, it's fine. We expected to win. Like you know, we lost to them in the league, I think, but every other time we've played them, it's been a win for us. So we were pretty confident.
Okay, cool, nice.
Yeah, there's a couple tight ones in there, but yeah, I think walking in there, we had a good lineup. Everyone was there, excited to go. We got some practice on the maps we wanted. Also, we had the advantage, so it's very nice.
Yeah, I expected to win because when we played them in league, we didn't really have our main roster that we train with all the time. But when we played them this time, we did.
Awesome, cool. So the next question, I know you said you had a couple of close ones there, but did you have a point where it felt, what was the most challenging part of the series there?
I mean, it was pretty challenging getting aced on factory by one guy. That was lots of fun just to lose a 5v1.
Yeah, I was on the sidelines on that one. I was watching. I was screaming at the monitor. It was not good. Everyone ran in there one by one, but yeah, they clutched it up in the end. They had other good matches in their rounds in there.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Rez, anything to add?
It was on Skyscraper, and I feel like it's definitely their best map. So, and we didn't really train it too.
Tell them.
Stats leaked. Cut it from the footage.
Okay, so the next question here, was there a point in the match where you felt like you had the win secured?
It was definitely after getting aced on Skyscraper. Like
you're full of confidence.
Yeah. From that point on, it's like, well, this is rock bottom. It can only go up.
When actually I'll give a different one. On Hideout, there was one point where they were kind of behind on the offense, but they popped open the wall. It was the middle floor for A. They got in there, they planted. Rez dropped in, he shot them all out, and they changed up their strategy, and they kind of showed that they could adapt to the situation. I thought that was pretty good.
Awesome. And Rez?
I definitely felt like we were definitely going to win on factory towards the middle of the game.
Awesome. All right, so next question here. Is there anything you feel you need to improve upon heading into this weekend?
No, it's going to be very easy. I've never heard of this other team.
Player availability. Player availability is what we need to work on.
I mean, yeah, people actually turning up and playing games would be nice.
That, and then just kind of like adapting to some of the moments.
Right.
I feel like we take a round or two to get in there and get ready to handle what's being thrown at us, figure out what the enemy's doing. There's so many teams in the leagues, you can't remember a strat book for every single team.
Right.
As well as practice for it.
Sure. Okay, on that note, what other plans do you have to get into the semis or the finals? Are you scrimming anybody, or are you just going to kind of take it easy or figure out the scheduling for everybody? How's that going to work?
We've just been pretty heavily playing Fortnite. It's
no build specifically, just keep it similar as the game. But yeah, we've been scrimming. We've been trying to get ready for it. They're excited. They're hyped. They just trying to figure out what the strats are that work, what don't. Make sure everyone's on in line with the plan.
Yeah. I hope. I've just been getting bullied all the time, so I hope that helps our gameplay.
It'll increase the mental game there.
Exactly. We got to keep him down so he can rise up above.
There you go. Nice. Okay. And next up, after the quarterfinals, who do you feel is your biggest competition right now?
Who's in?
So Velocity.com and Blaze EU.
Like any of them, like they're all good teams. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think it matters. Like we don't really play this game, so like we're just kind of winging it. It's we're just relying on past VR experience right now. It's like every other team in the league is doing good at the minute. So yeah, every single game is going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. It's like all teams are good. I don't think there's one that stands out right now. I mean, like Velo's on top, but it can still happen. It can change, and so I think all the teams have a chance here.
Definitely. Rez, how about you?
I definitely think Blaze are the biggest competition right now because they're all like higher levels in the game. They've played more, and our average level is like bronze. 40.
Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at the scoreboard, please.
Quick look over here.
No!
Ooh. Okay. Well, I'm sure it's fine. You know, no.
Fortnite no
it's just a
build does
number.
carry over. Fortnite
Yeah.
no build carries over. I swear.
Exactly. Yeah. It
Among
translates-
Us doesn't. I learned that the hard way.
Oh, I see. Well, it might deduce you. You know, if you get a team kill, who team killed you?
Yeah.
At the very least.
That's fine. That's cool.
That's going to do it for all of our questions today. Of course, we do thank GDS Hero, Rez, and Black Cat VR, the rest of Cheeky Breachy, for agreeing to the interview and joining me here this afternoon today. And of course, we do wish you all good luck in the upcoming semis. But for now, that's going to do it for us at the VRML. I'm Gibular Bob. This has been Cheeky Breachy, and we'll catch you all in the next interview. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here and ready to dive into map number 3. No time wasted. We're figuring out who's advancing on to play against .com right now as we hop into Skyscraper for our decider in this series. And it is round number 1 in this best of 3, map 3. I can't believe it came to this, Finto, but we're finally here, and we're deciding who is going to advance on with Skyscraper as our last map. And I mean, you got to wonder how these teams are feeling, because I feel like Skyscraper is really defensive-sided.
I mean, Blaze has got to be happy with their positioning right now, starting on defense, and Cheeky Breachy is not going to be happy with that. We've seen some big upsets thanks to the one-sidedness of Skyscraper, like the previous game earlier, .com versus Velocity, and that did not go how Velocity planned, possibly because their second game was on attack Skyscraper. So it's not a good position for Cheeky Breachy starting this off.
It is, well, doable at least, Phil. They managed to do quite well through map 2. They've got momentum, and they can now at least have a chance at taking a series point here and advancing on to the finals against .com. Man, and I really had Blaze taking this one this afternoon, but at this stage, I don't know how this is going to shake out as A-Site gets slowly pushed. Opened up now. Is the push going to be full force? It definitely is. Everyone here from Cheeky Breachy.
Yeah, we got to point out as the first couple of kills come trading back and forth, still even Stevens here, 4-4. And this pistol round is so important. We talk about how defensive side of this map is. That means getting 1 or 2 rounds on the attack side is huge. So if you can win the pistol and string that together and make that a 2-0 lead right out the gate, that's such a huge start. Cheeky Breachy has an opportunity to do that as Rise swings around the corner and finds one. Quickly traded, Rez traded by Rise. It's a 3v2 now. Rise still here to defend. He's finally going to go down as Owo there just finds 2 more kills, and it's Tabs left alone in a 1v3. Cheeky Breachy may be able to put one of these ever crucial rounds. There it is. Pistol. Huge goes the way to the attack side. Cheeky Breachy.
They're running away with it now with the momentum. That was really well done, Finto, and it's showcasing their coordination again with plays like that where they're really swinging and pinching at the same time.
I mean, definitely, and that's such a great round for them, such a great position to be in, when it's definitely very possible for a team on defense to win every single one of their rounds on Skyscraper, making sure that by the time they come to side swap, they're not going to be on that match point already. Is just such a great position for them because they know that they could very well win every single round when they go to defense. So a great opening from Cheeky Breachy.
Really was a solid performance from them. And again, it's the momentum, Phil. They are running with it here. The pressure's on now as we get to this map 3 decider too. So if there's ever a time to have confidence in yourself, it's now.
Yeah, and with the economics strategy, it reflects that as well. Buying right into 2 Vezins. You know, we've seen these teams both tend to be a little bit more conservative on the second round, but here on attack side Skyscraper, after winning the pistol, you want to put that extra little oompage into stringing, converting that first pistol round into 2-round lead, because those 2 rounds on the board right out of the gate are so important. I mean, you're already putting 2 rounds on the board. That's already a decent attack side. You can come back onto defense, even just losing 4-2, and have a really good time. So really off to a great start if they can convert this. And with 2 Vezins in the hands of both Jado and Owo here, I think they're feeling like they can go up 2-0 here.
Yeah, feeling like they could go up 2-0, and on offense, no less. That's definitely another confidence booster too. You really do not get a lot of opportunities to take big wins on offense on a map like Skyscraper. It lends itself to the defense with all the roaming threats and possibilities, but instead, we're not seeing a lot of time for roaming threats or possibilities. And the EMP's on the roof, Phil. I don't know if they know that, but they don't have the EMP as they make this push into A site. They've caught 2-3 kills, 4 down now, and there's only 1 left alive, and nobody has the EMP to plant it. It's Legolo alone in a 1v5 at A site. Full control, but still no damage done.
Wow, that is a small oversight as we see. Who is that? That's Rez finally making his way all the way back to the roof. A little bit of a miscommunication there, but it doesn't matter. The kills have poured in. At least nobody was distracted with planting the EMP. They were all able to focus on their gunfights, and it paid off because they all won all of their gunfights. Legolo has creeped his way all the way into this A bomb site. He sees the jiggle to Freezer, but Freezer didn't see him. He's going to swing around the corner, finds one, but quickly shut down as it's a firing squad of Cheeky Breachy members just sitting in the back of that bomb site.
No kidding. An absolute firing squad. And now they've got a beautiful economy going into this 3rd round. Tons of cash in their pockets. They carry their investment from the previous round forward, so no damage done by taking those extra rifles. And I don't know, Finto, it's not the start that Blaze need here on defense on a map that they really came in with an advantage on.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if that EMP was left by accident or if that's some strange strap, but we don't even need to overthink it with the Cheeky Breachy gunplay and the decision to bring both of those Vezins into that 2nd round, working out so well for them, and escaping with both of those Vezins as well. So much utility to work with now, and money for future rounds, even if they don't win this somehow. It's looking pretty good, especially considering they're on the attack. A great sets up for when they go to defend.
Whew, it really is. They still got the first half to get through here, though, and this is the tough part, Phil, is when we get into these full buys and the defense has a chance to get some utility on the table, get a couple of rifles into their hands, and properly battle back a full-on breach from the Cheeky Breachy squad. As some drone work comes in here to do an initial assessment from BMO, the rest of this team just waits before they make their entry in.
Yeah, this is an interesting call. An interesting call from Blaze here, but we've talked about how defensive sided this is, and part of that is due to how powerful the roam is, and Stickosaurus, the only player on the team right now getting spotted by that drone on the roam, and the only player on the team that doesn't have a Vezin, so that roam threat loses a bit of its bite with that player not having, the meta Vezin rifle, but they're going to be caught out, and they're just going to leave him. They spotted him on the 2nd floor there, and they're still just powering on towards this A bomb site. Foam already on the wall, and it is going to be a battle here for the A bomb site as 3 defending members of Blaze are prepared to go down swinging.
Shots through the wall, and Mr. Tabs is almost gone as they still have a slice of HP to their name, and a nice vault there from O.O gets punished by Rise. A beautiful read, catching that angle out. Cheeky Breachy maybe finally running into their first real pause on momentum this afternoon. They're not flying into A site as confidently, and that's because they're running in to a lot of this free fire resistance coming in through the walls. They really need to get rid of that resistor there, and Rise goes down. Vreezer with a vital kill, able to wall up and open things up. Another kill over the top. Here comes the swing for the double. No, Tab survives and clutches their life, just barely getting away. 4 here on site. Cheeky, you're going to take a 3rd offensive round.
It's looking that way. I mean, Stickosaurus on the roam, also getting picked up during the heat of that battle. It's a 1 versus 4. I mean, there's somehow no healing syringe on the side of Cheeky Breachy, and every single player is pretty much below half health. As I say that, BMO recovers a healing syringe finally. But Tabs has no way of knowing that, and it's looking like he may consider saving here. I mean, a 1v4 is a daunting thing. When you look down at your gun and you see 4 blue dots and you know you're the only one left alive, it's not a very confident, inspiring thing. But he's hanging around the bomb sites. He's not exactly dialing into the save just yet. Perhaps he's thinking about going for this.
He must have looked down at that gun and also seen the skin, because he swapped it out for that VRML skin, and that may very well keep him alive in style, at least, as they drop back and preserve that beautiful VRML skin for another round. We love to see that skin in-game. A shout-out to Triangle Factory, and a shout-out to Cheeky Breachy for locking in another point. Another eco, this time from Blaze. I think it's the 4th or 5th eco round we've seen come through from these teams this afternoon. And Finto, is that an indicator of any? Is that an indicator of the pressure? Because I feel like more often than not, we don't see teams investing in that eco and holding on to their kits for another round.
I mean, you're gonna be really stressed if you're blazed right now. If you're blazed right now, Cheeky Breachy is upsetting what we expected so much. You expect a team on attack to aim for 1, maybe 2 rounds and just hope that they can bring back the game on the defense side. But no, it's almost as if Cheeky Breachy is just going for it. They're gonna see if they can get match point before it's side swap, which would just be massive for them. And you can already see the force coming in from Blaze. They did not want this to happen.
Yeah, this is not good, Phil. Their economy is not going to be in a good spot if they can't get any kills here or round wins. And speaking of kills and round wins, we'll pull up that scoreboard for anyone tuning in. Map 1 on Factory going 7-3 in Blaze's favor. Map 2 7-0 on Hideout, and now Map 3 on Skyscraper in control by Cheeky Breachy. This could be 4-0 on offense, Phil. I mean, there can't get a worse start than this, I feel like, for the Blaze team.
Yeah, I mean, Cheeky Breachy is on an absolute roll. I mean, they're coming off of the back of that Map 2 win in dominant fashion as well. It was a 7-2 scoreline. They are feeling it right now, and it is showing in all of their individual aim. They're hitting their shots. They're dialed in. They're communicating well as a team. They're coordinated. And as I say that, Legolo is about to find out that they are picking his position out perfectly as Rez comes around the corner with Breezy right behind. Rez even throwing his hands up like, what are you doing? Where are you looking? He was caught looking the wrong way. But now the man advantage on top of the already rough economic disadvantage Blaze was in makes this round look really scary. We could very well be seeing a 4-0 scoreline on the attack, no less.
Yeah, this is the momentum and everything slipping through Blaze's fingers right now. But it is, of course, just the first half. Maybe a side swap will be all that is needed for them to get back into this thing. For now, though, Cheeky Breachy continues to play aggressive. Tabs finds one 0.0, and Tabs both go down, though, and it leaves Sobraj a bot. So a connection issue leading to a double there from 0.0. Not what you want to see at a time like this, but it's 4-0 for the Cheeky Breachy squad, and Blaze need to put 2 points on the board here, Finto. Or I mean, where are we headed towards? A full ace? Saw 7-0 from Cheeky Breachy on map 3?
At the rate they're going, I honestly wouldn't be surprised, and Blaze is not happy either. As if they're grabbing at straws here, getting a sub on in place mid round as well. It's getting very heated, and it's crazy to see Cheeky Breachy bringing this to a 4-0 right now, while on attack, which is so unexpected.
Like I said, Phil, you don't want to, especially now, you don't want to be the team that loses because you go up against Velocity for third place. So it's not like you have an easy third place matchup coming up off of losing here. So it's like losing is just the worst case scenario for these teams. And I mean, it's hard to battle back some negative emotions that can come through there. Maybe a sub, bringing in a fresh perspective will help bring that extra bit of energy over to the Blades roster, but they are just not in a good spot right now, as they do have at least full rifle kits, a bit of utility, but going against that of Cheeky Breachy, they really need some early picks to kind of nullify some of this effective utility placement that's been going on all day today from these teams.
Yeah, playing it a little bit close to the chest here with the force buy last round. They left themselves, it looks like, just for money to squeeze a full buy in this round, but they do not have all the defensive utility that really makes it so challenging for an attacking side to push in. But they've got a well-placed door blocker. I mean, they've scraped together a decent setup with what they had, and I feel like they're feeling the pressure. Backs against the wall here, being down 4-0. You're really you gotta feel like putting these last 2 rounds on the board is almost necessary at this point to give yourself a chance to make a second half comeback on the attack. Oh, a nice nade there from OO finding Mr. Tabs. And again, it's a battle for the A bomb site as the shots come out through the wall. OO swings around the corner and finds a second one, but Rise is there with Legolo swinging around the backside as well. The crossfire coming through, and it's just Legolo. Make that just Cheeky Breachy up 5-0 now going into the last round.
It's Cheeky Breachy are running away with this one, that's for sure, Finto. They've got their 6th round staring them down the face. 2 more to go, and they've got the series and their advancement on to compete in the finals against .com. I'm already starting to think about it. It's going to be a crazy finals tomorrow that you're not going to want to miss. But also, whoever loses here, Blaze versus Velocity would be a great 3rd place. Cheeky versus Velocity would be a great 3rd place. We've got good matchups tomorrow left ahead of us to wrap up this whole season. This is the semis, so it's not the end for either of these teams. They still got games to play tomorrow, but it certainly is a big one to win here, to go into those finals, to be able to compete for 1st and 2nd and get that notoriety of being that #1 team in EU in Season 1. A little bit of cash, too, getting thrown your way and surprises. Doesn't hurt, that's for dang sure. So definitely a lot to look forward to for these teams, and a lot to look forward to this weekend. A lot to look forward to today, Phil. We still got NA. In 1 hour, the pre-show starts. So quite frankly, if this goes the full distance, we're going to go back-to-back breachers from EU to NA. If not, though, we'll have a brief break, and then we'll be starting that pre-show in 1 hour exactly from now. We'll start the NA pre-show for the semifinals, and we'll have 2 back-to-back games played out over the course of the end of day 1 this weekend. It's a lot to, again, look forward to. Those games are going to be crazy. I can't wait to see those and start talking about those, but this has been crazy. What a great 3-map series we get to play out here in the semis, and Cheeky Breachy really just playing so well this afternoon to put them into this position.
Yeah, I mean, what a great day to be a Breachers fan. I mean, we got amazing matches across the board. But back to this single match at hand, we are on the bottom floor. Finally, this bomb site here that has the breakable windows going directly onto both of the bomb sites. And you see Jado playing outside of A, just applying some extra pressure, stopping the defense from being able, and yeah, Cheeky Breachy is trying to close it down right here. The wall gets opened up. Legolo tucked in the corner. Line 2, but Jado popping off with an absolutely massive 3K right there to close it out. Means the first half goes completely the way of Cheeky Breachy. 6-0, Nightfire.
I almost just hit the round win button because I was just like, this is it. They got like, I could 6-0 in the first half on offense, Finto. I mean, it is the perfect start. It's the time to perform. I mean, what's happening in this postseason? This is why we tune in. This is for stuff like this.
I mean, it's actually crazy to see that. Something that you almost never see. A 6-0 from the attack. Cheeky Breachy is just in such a great position now. It would be difficult for them not to win this. They are doing that well, and especially coming from the first round, that didn't look good for them. It looked like the game was running away from them, and that they didn't have much chance left. But then bringing it back, especially showing off a lot of skill on the attack of Skyscraper. I don't think there's much to say about it being close now. Cheeky Breachy is in such a good position.
Yeah, they really are. They've got nades coming in here on the attacking side. They're hoping to find them a couple of kills on their push down through B, most likely. They need some breaching foam set up here, which hasn't come down, I don't think, just yet, but I do feel that B is going to be the play, and maybe we'll see the rotating the roam of Rez come to fruition here as they are on this top floor and slowly working their way up to this attacking team.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Blaze's hands right now to be able to try to mount some kind of comeback. And the real question that in my mind right now is, do Blaze believe that they can bring this back 6 rounds on the attacking side on Skyscraper? I mean, all Cheeky Breachy has to do is find 1 round on defense here. I don't know how they found themselves in such a great spot. What a nice nade coming in through the hatch. Finds a lot of damage. So far, Blaze off to a decent start.
No kidding. The perfect start there, you say, as Mr. Tabs finds that early kill. There's the peek up the top. Rez catches one. 0.0 finds some kills, and Blaze are getting picked apart. Rez is still here, a threat on the top floor, and they'll fight at Rise. Rise getting a vital shutdown, keeping things even 3-3, but it is 3-3.
Yeah, that was beautiful coordination there. Jado swinging up as 00 finally does go down. Jado swinging up, finding a kill, and then on the retreat, Owo was there behind the box to cover him. So great coordination from Cheeky Breachy there, but now they find themselves in a tough spot. Bimo with 1 health immediately drops, and Jado coming around the backside. Again, they attack at the same time. The coordination is there, but this time, Blaze come out on top.
I don't want to do the math because I think it kind of spoils the end of this, but I do believe that Cheeky Breachy have guaranteed their win, even if they tie at this stage. If it goes 6-6, the total amount of rounds won would be more on Cheeky Breachy's side than Blaze's side. And so I believe that would be the deciding factor in who would be the champion, would be the amount of rounds won if they tie on map wins. So I do think that Cheeky have already guaranteed their advancement onto the finals, but we'll still play out these last few rounds and, again, just kind of get ready for the NA semifinals at this stage, because Cheeky have just come in here and put on a showcase in these last 2 maps, how to perform under pressure. 7-1 map 2, maybe 7-1 map 3. We'll have to decide. That'll be to be determined as they go on the defense with, again, another eco round. In comparison, Finto, everyone full buying on Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much for them left. I don't know if they've done the maths in their head. But
right.
They might still have a hope that they could win this, and they're just trying their hardest right now. But obviously, it's unfortunate.
I think there's even. I think there might be even rules where you still have to play. You know, you have to put you have to play competitively.
Yeah.
You know, and ultimately at the end of the day, that's why these teams are even here, because they want to play Breachers competitively. It's why you join the VRML, so you can play against other teams of similar skill level. And man, are these two teams pretty dang close in skill level. A great battle back and forth as this offense looks super clean, flying into the site. Bimo trying to hold things down through the doorway, but there are rifles in the hands of Blaze, and multiple rifles at that. Jado finds a pretty nice kill, but it's only one in a swarm of Blaze here, who find the 1, 2, and the 3rd to scoop up round number 2 in this back half. Maybe we misjudged the EU preference for attack on this side, Phil, because Blaze looked dang good on the attacking side, and maybe it's just the eco of Cheeky Breachy there, but that was a very solid push in and second round locked in by them.
Yeah, I mean, Finto, let me get your thoughts, because we've seen it happen before where maps that we talk about being super defender-sided just seem to play out the opposite the way that we're expecting, and especially on these playoff days. You think we might be in for that kind of surprise here today? I mean, 2 rounds in a row.
I mean, I'm extremely shocked. You know, it's to see both of these teams now doing so well on attack when it's basically just been a given since the map came out that it's near impossible to bring this back if you're starting on attack. And now both of these teams doing exactly what has been said is impossible now. It's pretty crazy to see.
It's the postseason. That's all I think I can chalk it up to. It's the chaos and the unknown of the postseason that we've tuned into here this afternoon. And, well, let's see if Cheeky Breachy can put their final point on the board here. Some very early aggression, and Nade's going to come up and over, and Rez forces Tabs to either choose to go up the stairs or down. And they know that if they go down, they'll go right into their line of fire. That's what a lot of things I think, Phil, that teams don't do when they throw nades, is wait for the player to push out from the nade. You really do get a lot out of a nade like that. Now we're seeing Immolation Blaze. Rise flies in, looks for 2, can't get it. Only scooped up 1, and Cheeky have a 4v3 advantage. Make it a 4v2 as leader goes down, and Legolo trying to fight. Stickosaurus are both here. Stickosaurus swings, sees no one home, and it's a 2v2.
That's a lot of map space going over to the side of Blaze. Full control of the Scream Room. Phone up on the A wall here. As you see Legolo rotating around and meeting up with Stickosaurus there. So in the 2v2, but Rez there to find Legolo. Now it's Stickosaurus. He's going to have to make a 4K, but no. Rez says that is it. We are going to the grand finals against .com tomorrow. Cheeky Breachy are your winners.
You love to see a great EU battle and Blaze go down to the third place contention for tomorrow. Cheeky Breachy go against .com in the grand finals. It is, man, what a road to get here. What a performance from this team on the Cheeky Breachy side, Finto. I mean, exceeding our expectations. And I think you had Cheeky Breachy taking this one, so you certainly were right on that.
I mean, I definitely had them taking it, but not with such a crazy victory. We've already seen one insane match with .com beating out Velocity earlier today, but now seeing this, while the seeding not being too far off, but having so many crazy plays, crazy rounds, and just overall a crazy game, it's been very entertaining to watch, and it's been amazing.
Happy we tuned into it, to say the least, and a reminder that the grand finals is tomorrow, Sunday, January 21st, along with the third place match. That'll be starting at 9 a.m. PST, 8:30 a.m. with a pre-show. To tune in for all of that action, because, man, the EU's third place and finals matchups are going to be nuts. Third place is Velocity versus Blaze. I think a lot of people had that as first place, Phil.
Yeah, it's wild. The third place match is kind of what people were expecting the grand finals matchup to be. So it's, it's funny the way things shake out. I would say these top 8 teams are all on such a high level. They all have enough talent to step up and win against any team on any day. Beautiful to see.
So fun to tune into here this afternoon. Hats off again to both teams who came out and played this afternoon. We do really appreciate both Blaze, EU, and Cheeky Breachy for showing on a great bit of Breachers this afternoon. And if anyone was new and tuned in, please hit that subscribe button. We do this all the time here over the course of a regular season. Season 2 on the horizon, so more action down the road, if not this weekend. So hit the subscribe button. Come back for it later today, which is, again, countdown starts in 30 minutes. So we're going to be jumping into the pre-show soon enough for the North American side. Until then, however, we're going to take a brief break on the caster's desk and get ready for more Breachers action. You all stay tight to the chairs and the YouTube channel and get ready for more Breachers action as well. And we will see you all in a few minutes. Well, 45 minutes with the NA semifinals. Do not miss it. VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory, HyperX, Protube VR, VRCOVER,